Going live.
All right. Hello. Looks like we're live. And thank you, Bobalinks, for pointing out that the title was wrong. So was the time earlier. So I don't really know what happened because I'm pretty sure I changed both of those things, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, uh, Infinipede is here with us as well.
Hello.
Hopefully you can hear both of us at a good level, and there's a sliver of your face. There you go.
Well, the chairs aren't close enough together.
Yeah, so Indigo's here as well.
Yay!
Since we didn't stream yesterday. So what happened was that at 11:57 yesterday, I happened to just like glimpse the new 151 on my calendar. I didn't even register right away that like it was supposed to be happening right then. I just noticed that there was something in my calendar, and then I was like, "Wait, the new 151? Oh crap! That was supposed to be today, in 3 minutes." All right, well that's not gonna happen.
Today, as in Sunday, because I've got something else coming up on like the third Sunday of the month.
Okay.
I'm that confused.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so we weren't able to stream yesterday because we forgot. And so today Indigo actually gets to be with us.
Yay! No work. Yay!
But you will be mostly playing Animal Crossing?
I will be playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah. All right. Well, Julie will be joining us on chat later as well. But she hasn't shown up yet. So while we wait, Infinipede, do you want to just tell us what your concept is?
Yeah, sure. So as we all know, I figure most of us are adults here, or at least a little bit older. Cloyster is very yonic, which is kind of the counterpart word to phallic. So
Yeah.
make of that what you will. I wanted to make Cloyster less yonic.
Yeah, it's one of those things where either you kind of go away from it or you just really lean into it.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm a bit too quiet.
Oh, I might need to. I can adjust the volume here.
Yeah, I was a little loud last time, so I kind of moved my mic away from my face. But
Okay, I've increased it.
all right,
So
can you guys hear me in the chat?
we hope so, but with a few seconds of stream delay, it could be
Yeah, I'll
could
give
be a
it
problem.
bit with the
Yeah. Charon apparently ran the other way as soon as he heard Animal Crossing.
Very quiet and distant.
Still quiet. Okay, here. I'll put it all the way up. It was down before probably because it was too loud, but
Yeah, because I was very loud last time.
right. Well, hopefully now it's good. Like on my end, you're actually registering quite loud. So
I'm sorry about that. Maybe I should turn it up on. Well, if I turn it up on my end, it would still cause a problem. But so I guess I can. If people can actually hear me, I can talk a little bit about my design.
I hope so. Yeah. So go ahead if it turns out that they still can't hear you. We'll try again.
All right. So I went with basic, like keep the same concept. They're oysters. They're bivalves, obviously, and they have pearl-shaped bodies, so kind of they look like black pearls.
Mm-hmm.
But the general things I changed were I wanted to give them some patterning. So I kind of went with like a zebra mussel look because those are really recognizable bivalves.
Right.
And it's like a simple but just breaks up the sort of monotony of the shell on Shellder.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to go with, instead of just having like plain black inside the shell, I went with mother of pearl. And I also they have a byssus, which are the threads that some bivalves use to attach themselves to rocks and so forth. And
Okay,
those kind of keep with like the spininess of Cloyster having the pieces.
Right, so that's what these are, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Oh shit! Is it just because my mic isn't like working?
Well, I can hear you, and I can tell you that OBS is in fact connected, but
Yeah, it is what comes out of my speakers and then into his mic because I'm on Discord. I'm not directly on the stream.
Yeah, no, it's not actually going through my speakers. I mean, that could be what they are hearing, but
Yeah.
no, I'm capturing the audio directly from Discord, so.
Huh. That's odd then. If
Am
it's
I
loud,
loud? Am I loud for people?
You're
Hello,
fine.
Julie.
Hi. Sorry I'm late. Will you get demonetized if I say the word diarrhea?
Well, one, too late now. And
I already said Yannick. That's a little more.
yeah.
A little more clear.
I think.
I guess I can say Cloyster's just a vulva. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna risk monetization. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay. Okay, apparently people can't hear Julie either.
Huh.
Well, heck.
Yeah, which is weird because I'm looking in OBS right now and it's, registering your audio really loud.
Check your settings?
This is the settings.
Well, no, sure, but like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how OBS works. So sometimes you go into like another thing with the window and it's like, it's here. And I don't know.
Yeah,
It's gotta be
sometimes.
something with the stream because like Ness sounds fine to me here. But like
Yeah, it's the stream itself.
Yeah. No, everything looks
crank
normal.
up both our volumes on Discord.
No, I mean, what if you like closed and reopened the stream? Would that like cause a problem within YouTube? I've never streamed through YouTube.
I've never tried that. It's really weird the way YouTube does it. Like, because on Twitch, if I hit start streaming in OBS, it automatically starts the stream on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
On YouTube, if I hit start streaming in OBS, I then have to go to my YouTube streaming dashboard to turn the stream actually live.
Oh, that's a mess.
So, yeah, I don't know if I could stop and restart, but
Oh, that sucks.
That's just. I'm just confused because, like, as far as I can tell, everything is normal. Okay, here I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna mute the two of you for the stream, but continue talking so that they can tell us whether it's made any difference to the volume.
Okay. So I will talk about something completely irrelevant, I suppose.
Sure. Yeah, like I can tell that your voice is actually getting picked up by my microphone, and that's how it's going to be because there's two of us here, so I can't use headphones.
Yeah.
But I would hope that it makes a difference.
Is this any louder for people at this tone now? I don't really know what's being changed on your end. I'm just trying to say words.
Yes, saying words is fine. Okay, 002 says that they can't hear anything. Okay, so I've turned your volume back on, so now you should be audible again.
I hope I'm not at 500% volume,
Yeah, that would be no good.
like Karen pointed out.
I'm covering my ears for when Shed fixes it. Oh, I see. Yeah. No, like your volume is at 100%, just like mine.
Yeah. This sucks. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah. I guess I could turn my volume down, and then everyone else can turn their volume up. No, that's not the right solution. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like it looks normal in OBS. It looks normal in Discord.
Great, now we can't hear anyone.
I'm hoping that was from 20 seconds ago.
No, that's recent. You try pouring milk over it.
Was that April that said that?
Yeah. Oh my god, my mom just said I turned my volume way up and I can hear that. But that wasn't April, that was Karen actually.
Yeah.
It's hilarious because
Ah,
April
this-
was a known milk pourer on electronics.
Oh.
Not on purpose.
I would hope so.
That picks up. It's a good point, actually.
Like a YouTube video, yeah. Sure, I'll go get one of my videos. I need the watch time from myself, apparently.
I can't help diagnose it because I have the video view.
Here, I'll play my most recent video that's gotten very few views.
Okay. 82 views. Wow.
No, keep playing. Why'd you stop playing? Because I need to check if it's... Okay, it is getting picked up. I'll just give it a moment so the chat can tell us how it sounds on their end, but like, yeah, it looks the same as when you're talking, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, apparently Karen says you can't hear it. We're supposed to be hearing a video there is one.
That is very strange because
OBS isn't picking up the direct feed from desktop audio.
well, I guess it isn't, but like it is. I can see that it is.
Start OBS and see if you can restart the stream.
Yeah, relaunching might help.
Darn.
All right, yeah, we'll try that. I'll keep.
See if you can like pause the on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
Julie seems quieter now.
Well,
so sorry.
well, there is a video playing over your audio, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop the stream and relaunch OBS, and we'll see what happens. Let me look here. Did this? Okay, it looks like in YouTube the stream is still going. It just like froze for a second or something like that.
I hope I'm not 500% volume. I'm talking very quietly.
Yeah, same here.
Well, just gotta wait now, I guess.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
This is so annoying.
Yeah, I don't know like why it did that.
Yeah. Sharon, 002, can anyone tell us whether the audio is audible?
Hello.
Anything better now?
Pull up OBS window on stream. They can hear you.
What, you yeah, you don't trust me? You don't trust me that the audio is in fact being picked up? Yeah.
I mean, like we might be able to.
I wonder if I have... And, like, there must be a setting...
Setting in like.
No, it must be in OBS. I was gonna say it must be in Discord, but no, because they couldn't hear the video either, so it's definitely something to do with the desktop audio.
Yeah. Like, it could be something that you accidentally hit when you
don't know what to do. I guess I can change.
What was different about the last stream that you did? Because that was fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Wouldn't it be cool if technology worked?
It would probably be cool if technology worked. Okay, yeah, just keep talking because I made some changes and we'll see if that made any difference.
Should I try relaunching my Discord?
Okay, well, they got it. Hang
Hello?
on. I still
okay.
need to fix it on my end a little bit.
I'm
Shit,
louder, apparently.
I just disconnected and then reconnected. But it
Oh, we
worked.
did it!
Okay.
I said
Yay.
there. There's a cat because I saw the cat over Indigo's shoulder, and that's what fixed it.
Yeah.
All fixed.
Well, I don't know why this made a difference, but I basically have it going through a different, like, fake speakers.
Okay, yeah, that's probably it. Like,
Yeah.
I've messed
Okay.
with that stuff before when I was like a raid guild leader in WoW, so we could have like music as the background, and
Yeah.
those things are super finicky.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with it. If it works, let's not question it.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, well, 20 minutes
Okay.
in, Infinipede, why don't you tell us about your concept that we've been
Okay.
staring at, but we still don't know all the details for?
Okay. So here we have Shellder and Cloyster. They have stripes because zebra mussels are a very recognizable type of bivalve, and I wanted to kind of put a pattern on them to break up the solid color on the shell. They have byssus threads coming out of them. They're a type of fiber, like protein fiber, that some types of clams and mussels create to attach themselves to their environment, and they look a little like maybe like icicles.
That's what these are, right?
That's the stuff that you circled when you were circling them before. I
Okay.
can't see the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see them now. Those are
There you
those
go.
are abyssal threads. Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of just having them be like black void on the inside, I gave them like mother of pearl coating on the inside of the shell. And they have a shape that's reminiscent of, I think they're called like winged shells. They're a type of clam that's type of oyster that's in the same family as pearl oysters. They just had a very interesting shape, so I thought I would, because they look almost like a rounded spike. So I thought I'd do
Okay.
that.
What was the
They
name
also
again?
have,
I'm just
like-
gonna have a look at the original so I have a clearer idea of what it looks like.
Yeah. They also have these like pointed end of the shell, and I decided to go with that because in the dex entries it talks about they squirt out water to move really fast. So I was like, well, you gotta, it's probably easier to squirt out water through almost like a pointed end of the shell, and that's how a lot of oysters look anyway.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Cloyster in particular doesn't, like Shellder, it's like, okay, it evolves, it gains an ice type, like it doesn't look like ice type to me. It looks like another oyster. So I decided to make the spines kind of like made of the same mother of pearl, so they look very icicle-esque.
Right.
And I removed the inner shell that gave it its kind of unfortunate vulva shape, and gave it 2 horns instead of the one like clit horn.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else to call it other than that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just such an unfortunate design.
Yeah.
Cause when I was getting the official artwork to use as a reference, I noticed that I think it's in the red and green spray. where I'd noticed before, and this is fairly well known, that Cloyster is like on its side. So instead of the opening being vertical, the opening is horizontal. And otherwise, like Cloyster looks the same. But what I hadn't noticed before that I noticed now is that in that sprite, Cloyster didn't actually have that horn. Cloyster gained that horn when it was rotated.
That's really weird. I know there's like a few Pokemon early designs, like how Charmander used to have like the horn on the back of its neck too, to like make that relate more to Charmeleon and Charizard. And there's like very few of them that they kind of went back and changed the designs later on. But I wonder what made them decide to make Cloyster upright, I guess.
Yeah. Oh well, actually, here I'm just gonna put,
I feel
put
like
the
you've got
sprites
some
in.
like Japanese businessman who is just like, this looks like a vulva. Hey, add a clit to it. Just got like some dude in the office who's just laughing at it, and the other guy comes and looks over his shoulder. It's like, yeah, it kind of does.
I mean, you had all the parents complaining about the like subliminal Zionism in Pokemon, and like maybe they should have just pointed at Cloyster and been like, "Hey, it's teaching kids other things," and that would have been more valid.
It's just like you've got like this guy who is like, Mewtwo is making the satanic salute.
So what I was saying about the sprite that I have on screen now is actually the one from Red and Green. So this is the original sprite with the vertical opening and the horn, and then this one is from Red and Blue, where it's a horizontal opening and no horn. But then they went back.
So they're like, wait a minute, we screwed up. But then no, it does have a horn.
That's so bizarre.
I'm pretty sure that like the little shiny thing on its forehead might be meant to be the horn.
I think it's just
No, that wouldn't make
just a highlight, which is on the other one as well.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, it does have like the one protruding big horn on the top of the shell.
Right, which is
Maybe
also
they
a
were
bump
like-
on the other shell.
Yeah, maybe they were like, no, we need to change it, and then some guy was like, no, change it back.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, what was the name of the oyster that has the shape that you were referencing?
The one I looked at was like the Pteria penguin, Pteria penguin. Like, it's not exact. It's not like an exact reference. I wanted to make it more like Cloyster.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to have a look at what it looks like. Okay. Interesting. All right. I won't spend the time to look for like a Creative Commons image that I can put on the stream, but now I know, like, I have a better idea. Of what it's referencing. Okay. Anything else that you wanted to add?
I think that's about it.
All right.
I really like the idea of having like the pearlescent tones to it, because I know that the little black ball inside is kind of supposed to represent the pearl. But I don't get pearl vibes from that at all, and I think Clam Pearl really did better later, giving me the pearl vibes from a Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was supposed to be a pearl and then wasn't, but or they changed their mind or something. Because I get it's supposed to be like a black pearl. But...
Yeah, I don't get any pearl vibes from Shellder, and I know that the tongue is supposed to reference the foot. That some bivalves have, which is what they use to move around and stuff. But on Cloyster, if you look at the oldest art here, the way that they did the highlight on that, it does kind of look shiny, and it has that kind of pearl shape to it. So I can see it on there much more than I can see it on the modern Cloyster, where it has a gray head, purple head.
It's just an emoji now. They've moved far away from the pearl.
Yeah, I think it was just like with the way Sugimori's art style evolved, where it was like no solid black, no really strong highlights anymore.
That's true.
Yeah. Then maybe it wasn't ever intended to be like actually like that.
Well, he did the original art with watercolor, right? And now he does them digitally. Is that true?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, and in Generation 8, he wasn't even the one who did the official art.
Oh, who did it in Generation 8? That's news to me.
It was James Turner and another artist that I can't remember who it was now.
Oh, wow. James Turner just kind of did it all in Gen 8, didn't he?
Well, he was the art director, so yeah.
Well, listen, sometimes they have like other people come in and design certain Pokemon, like how he started in Gen 5 and he like did a few there. So like I didn't know how much was split up between different people, so it surprises me that like he also did all the official images.
Well, Sugimori used to be the art director, and he used to do all the official images. So like other people would come in and other people would design Pokemon, but the official art was always done by Sugimori. So now it was done between James Turner and one other artist. All right, so let me hide these guys for now, and actually I just need to make them smaller so I have the space, but I still need to see them. So I don't think I can really do anything too different for Shellder. Shellder is a Shellder, and it's going to be a Shellder no matter which position you put it in. Yeah, I think I'm just going to try to replicate these poses a little bit more from the original art. I think they have a little bit more dynamic poses than nowadays. But
I actually agree. Like, I kind of like the Gen 1 Cloyster looks great. And
I love the angle on that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Gen 1 Shellder looks like more surprised, which I like. I think it's because the eyes look like they're closer together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are closer together. They're significantly closer together. And I don't think it's just a matter of the angle.
It kind of looks like the little what's it called? Soot monster from Spirited Away.
Oh,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But inside a shell.
It helps that the outside of the shell too looks like the candies.
Mm-hmm.
The candies?
Yeah,
the little candies the Soot guys take.
Oh, little like star candies.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Victoria
that,
and I are on
but
the same page.
I
We got
believe
this.
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen Spirited Away in forever. I only ever watched it like once or twice.
I highly recommend revisiting it. I can't decide.
It was nowhere near my favorite Miyazaki movie. I felt it was overrated.
Nausicaa's your favorite, right?
Yeah, honestly, it'd probably be Nausicaa and then like Pokoroso.
I think you might have felt that way about Spirited Away because it was really the first one to break out in America.
I think that was a big part of it. And then I remember watching it in Princess Mononoke like back to back and being like, wow, one of these is much better than the other, and it's not the one everyone likes.
Those are my two favorites, and I think it changes which one is my favorite based on the day, but they're both great.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say Spirited Away is a bad movie. It's far from it. It's a good movie. It's just like I felt that like because it was the one that everyone was like, oh, this movie's so good, and I remember like I had watched like My Neighbor Totoro like beforehand, and I'm just like, oh my god, but you guys haven't watched all of the others.
See,
how can you say this is good when you haven't seen the others?
I want to say something sacrilegious here, but I think that Totoro might kind of be the overrated one. I think he's very cute. Totoro himself is very lovely, but the movie is just quite... Not that this is a knock again, because like Miyazaki movies are all kind of slow and quaint, but like
it not a lot
slow
happens.
and quaint. Yeah,
not a lot happens. Like I wouldn't say it's like overrated, but it's very much like a young kids movie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what my favorite film might be. It honestly, because I haven't seen like as many as I should, probably, but I feel like I like Ponyo the best. Is that weird?
Honestly, that's a good answer. That is a rare answer, and that's a good answer.
Okay. It's just so cute.
Ponyo is really cute. She just wants ham. I don't even eat ham, and I can respect that. Her motivation is so clear.
We watched Howl's Moving Castle recently after I had read the book. I'd seen the movie already, but I read the book at the end of last year, and so I wanted to watch the movie again and kind of look for the differences. And, you know, like at the very beginning, it is very similar. And then it's just so completely different. It's just like, you can't even really compare it because it's just a different story.
Yeah, and I remember like reading a bit about that. Like I never read the actual book, but I remember reading a review that talked a bit about it, and it's like, yeah, and then he totally changed it and then threw in like an environmentalist message because it's fucking Miyazaki. And he just gets halfway through the movie, he's like, oh crap, I need to talk about environmentalism and how war is bad. No shade at Miyazaki, those are great things. I go to an environmentalist school.
Right, but he's just like one of those directors that has a style. Like I was rewatching Castle of Cagliostro with April and Frankie the other day, and April was like, man, I can't even tell that this is a Miyazaki movie. And then there was just like a close-up lingering shot of a field of flowers, and she was like, there we go.
Just need the flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing wrong with like your auteur moments.
Right.
Like Neil Breen and women not wearing bras.
You know, a director's like little fingerprints.
Wait, actually, I think the women in his newest one, in Twisted Pair, I think they were wearing bras.
Oh, look, he's evolving.
I don't know
I
this
actually
director.
really like it.
I don't know this director, but it sounds like he's
That's probably for
growing.
the best that you don't know.
Oh, but he's great.
I mean, are there any movies that I might recognize at least the title of?
No.
No, he's a so bad it's good movie director. Like,
I
think,
see.
like The Room,
Yeah.
but like environmentalist and like and anti-corporate themes.
I mean, that sounds great.
You would probably, if you enjoy so bad it's good movies, you would like him. He's amazing.
I
My
don't
favorite
think, I don't
title
think I
is,
do. I don't think I do.
It's probably not for you then, but one of the
yeah.
titles is I am here ... now.
No, it's I am here ... now. It's not. He didn't even get the ellipsis right.
A 4-dot ellipsis, huh?
Yes, just
Okay.
he's that extra.
Okay,
Why do the
well,
words
I
always
can tell you
use-
right now that I can't watch his movies. As a book designer and typographer, I can't stand for that.
Do you know what I'm talking about though? Like 3 is the correct number, and then like you'll see like a post from someone like 30 years older than you, and there'll be like 20 in a row, and it's like, why? I don't.
Sorry if my mom is still in the chat because she's technically a boomer.
Sorry, Heather. We love you.
Well, yeah, I have read like really old books, you know, from the 19th century or something, where they overuse punctuation in a way that today would be really weird, including ellipses with way too many dots. So it's not just a boomer thing.
Yeah, it's just right now. It's like.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like when you get old, you start forgetting how many dots an ellipsis has.
Or either that, or you just stop caring.
Yeah, that's possible too.
How is this looking? I feel like I'm not getting the bottom shell quite right.
It's different than how I made mine look, but I think it looks fine.
I feel like the little pearl part isn't quite centered in the bottom part of the shell yet.
Yeah, and I can adjust like positions, size. I have everything on separate layers. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I think
Yeah.
I had the like wing parts on the bottom shell pointing more outward, like more similar to
Right.
the original Shellder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like the little horns on it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the placement that you just did there. That's good.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I think the end might just be like a little bit too pointed, and just make it a little bit rounder, and then it'll be fine. Also towards like the bottom here, you could probably add a little bit more of a butt.
Extend this roundedness a little farther.
Maybe not quite that much. I was thinking more towards the end, not so much the main body.
Drive a sandwich? No. I thought about that, and I decided that it's more like that thing is an alternate evolution of Shellder. The way I saw it. So I decided I wanted Cloyster to be like separate from that.
I would really appreciate if Shellder got a split evolution someday where it could evolve into that thing that's on Slowbro's tail, but like people have suggested that for years, and if it hasn't happened now, like when, you know?
Well, I mean, we haven't seen the Galarian Slow King yet, right? Or Slow
Ooh.
Bro. So it's possible.
Let's hope.
Yeah. I mean,
I want to be wrong. I want them to put it in.
I mean, our new 151 Slowbro is purple, has the purple shell, so they're already connected in more of a way than the original.
Yeah.
Ooh,
God,
that
I
looks
hope
nice.
I hope the DLC reinvigorates my interests in Sword and Shield, because
I
after
agree.
Animal Crossing came out, I dropped that like a rock.
Yeah, like I've been wanting to maybe play it again, but it's like I don't know what I'm gonna do.
There's just no post game. Like you can sit there and breed shinies in competitive Pokemon,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, you have to have your own drive because there is nothing to do that the game gives you like as a player.
And it's like I don't have my own. I mean, there's a lot to do, but not a lot of it is like post game specific. And then it's like, well, there's
Yeah,
not
you could
a
just
lot
keep doing, like,
for me to
raids
do
and
because
stuff.
a lot of my favorites are missing. So, well, I guess I can breed some of the new ones.
Yeah.
But once I'm done with those, I'm done.
Yeah. I really liked in Generation 3 how there were basically two challenges, right? Because you had the regular gym challenge, the league, etc. But you also had the contests.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I spent a lot of time in the post game completing the contests.
I feel like I feel like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had a post game. Like it hasn't been strictly they stopped giving us post games. I feel like USUM had a post game.
I actually really liked the wormholes. It was really fun to go and collect all the different legendaries in there and like farm some shinies in there. And like, wasn't a deep thing, but it was still something to do. And there is not even like a something to do in Sword and Shield.
Well, I mean, there isn't a something to do where you're gonna like complete it, like going through wormholes. You could eventually, have all the shinies, have all the legendaries. But there's max raids, and they do keep refreshing those like all the time.
I suppose you're right. I got a little frustrated with those just because they take so long and they're not terribly engaging. It's kind of just like you clicking a move and then waiting for all your friends' animations to happen.
Yeah, like they were fun when like they were more difficult because you didn't realize that like you can just like game them by doing like a couple things.
Yeah, and since the shiny rates weren't boosted, I didn't feel a need to do max raids after I collected all the G-Max Pokemon.
Yeah,
Whereas, like, in
basically,
Purple-
I just realized that you could like game the G-Maxes appearing by changing your clock time, and from then on out, I'm just like, well, I don't need to do a bunch of the same raids
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to try and get the G-Maxes because it's stupid the incredibly like low rates on them.
I wanted them to be a little more. I think they were a really cool concept that just wasn't super fleshed out.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when they made it so you couldn't use G-Maxes for like the first like battle rules they had, made them feel like a total waste.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's looking a little better, I think.
I would like to see the tail turned up a little more, but maybe I'm crazy.
Fine. I mean,
So, because I was going more for the pose from Gen 1.
Okay, don't
Right.
listen to me then. That is just like a thing that I felt might work, but it's not like a real criticism.
Okay. Well, if it is meant to be like a tail that points upward, which I didn't think it was, but Infinipede, you can correct me.
no, it's just kind of meant to be out and up.
Yeah, the tail could definitely be scooted over a bit. 002 is right to be like in more of the center of the shell.
Rafa 180, if we got a Gen 4 remake, I would love to see them be like, oh crap, legendaries have appeared in the distortion world, because that was like one of the coolest parts of Platinum.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
I guess they could use that. I don't know. I feel like the distortion world is just a very Giratina specific thing.
True.
Yeah.
What if they had shadow Pokemon there? Ooh. I did like that Pokemon Go just kind of added shadow everything. I love dumb flavor. They don't have to be like viable for me to want them.
You're still playing Pokemon Go regularly?
I did drop off pretty hard during the quarantine just because a lot of my drive to play was going to community day and
Right.
meeting up with people and giving out the buttons that we'd make.
Mhm.
And haven't been able to do that, but I have still been playing. I know
Karen, I honestly wouldn't even mind that. I at this point, I'm just so thirsty for Gen 4 remakes. I will take anything.
Sequels, not remakes.
Yeah. Hashtag sequels, not remakes.
Oh, shut up. Give me a Gen 4 sequel.
Yeah. Gen 4
I will
sequels.
take a
I'm
Gen 4
I'm down for that.
Dude, I want to see, like, your crazy, like, find you $1 million neighbor as a gym leader.
Oh, yeah, the what was his name? Barry?
Yeah, Barry.
Yeah.
Like, that would be awesome to see Barry as a gym leader, and your first intro to him is just him bumping into you.
I want the underground back. I want to steal people's flags.
Yeah, no, I'm all for returning to Sinnoh. I just don't want remakes. I think
Yeah.
remakes
Karen,
are part of
I
what's stagnating the series.
I think Oros was actually a pretty polished remake.
Oh, I agree. I've enjoyed every remake, but the kind of pressure, the focus on just going back and doing the same thing again, just a little bit different.
I was responding to Karen saying why we got Oris instead of something more polished or an XY follow-up, which I don't care to go back to Kalos anytime soon. Kalos was, in my opinion, a train wreck.
Well, X and Y were a little bit of a train wreck, but that's largely because they left a lot of things unfinished that seemed to be, things that they would resolve or address.
I feel like
in
there's
a
just a
Pokemon
lot
Z.
about Kalos that fell really flat for me, and even a Z would not have fixed that.
I really enjoyed the region itself and the Pokemon. There were problems in terms of like
the
it being
Pokemon were
too
great.
easy, but
Yeah, the Pokemon were great, and like the region was okay.
I love France, so I love Kalos. But like you're right. There is like a lot of things about it that lacked polish, and like I definitely don't like how empty all the rivals were. It wasn't. Less is more. Like we didn't need that many of them, especially if they weren't
Black and
ultimately
White,
going to be very competitive.
Black and White hit it on the spot with like the 2, and I think they're able to do 3 if Sword and Shield are any indication. Especially when they're putting less focus on some of them.
Yeah, Sword and Shield, you didn't have a group of 3, 4 people going with you.
They weren't always with you.
Yeah. Or together with each other either. So
yeah. Like, I don't think the idea is a bad one, but they need to put like a lot of work into it.
Mm-hmm.
Rafa, I feel like it didn't change as much aesthetically because the graphical jump wasn't like quite as big.
I disagree. I think that it made a pretty big difference being in 3D.
I feel like the change from that is a difference, but I feel like the Johto region appears more changed because of the change from the Game Boy Color having like a very small amount of colors to essentially having full color on the DS with HTSS. Like, I think that makes more of a difference.
That's true.
Yeah, that's fair. But I really enjoyed all of Auras. I know that a lot of people don't like it, but I really liked it a lot.
I liked Auras quite a lot.
Yeah. Gen 6 was your favorite generation. You really liked Kalos, and you got to go back to Hoenn, your favorite region? Or your second favorite region, I guess?
I guess, yeah. My favorite region would be Kalos, but I'm pretty sure my favorite games are from, like, Generation 3 or, like, Auras,
Yeah.
So, it's just because I've told this, like, a million times, but, like, I was so, like, charged in, like, my first playthrough of Emerald. Because of like Brendan's like blatant sexism, so so it's just like, oh hell no, like you're going down. It was really good. And then of course Norman like not really choosing like Wally over you basically.
Can you believe it took them 6 Pokemon games to add them an option to play as a girl? Like, my god.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The Brendan being sexist thing, like, I played Ruby as the girl, but I didn't pick up on that at all. And well, obviously that just speaks to my privilege, but like I saw his remarks about me, being a girl or whatever, and I didn't think anything of it at the time.
I picked up on it, but I only remember that one remark, like, oh, I didn't think you'd be a girl because you're a gym leader's kid. And
Right.
I'm just like, there's a 50-50 chance for me to be
Excuse me?
Not counting
Hashtag
non-binary
triggered. Me.
representation. Which, I mean, the game only gives you 2 options. Are you a boy or are you a girl?
Yeah.
But that's all I remember him saying. In which case, I ended up forgetting about it pretty quick. But
Did you guys have like friends when when Gold and Silver first came out, the originals, when they like transferred over Pokemon, they'd be like, oh, I didn't know it was a girl. And it's like, what?
No, I didn't have that at all.
I think we were just. I was just happy to have genders, because I thought it was cool. Because it makes like the names you give your Pokemon, you can give them different names and stuff.
I love gender, very flavorful in Pokemon, but it's just bizarre that like even these days, there's one thing if you're like going for a certain character, if you're like, oh, okay, I'm making a fan team, so like this character should be this gender.
I hate it when that happens, when you have like.
Right, when you're breeding for it. But like I talk to Pokemon fans all the time that like are very legitimately like, yeah, I won't raise a Gardevoir if it has a penis because it makes me uncomfortable. It's like
it's so stupid. It's like
why does it make you uncomfortable?
I think we all know why it makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't want to raise a Gardevoir and have a penis. Like, come on, dude. Like, you don't even know that doesn't have anything under that dress.
No.
I know. I like how OG Gardevoir didn't even have legs, and there's people out there that's like, no, if that little gender symbol's blue, I won't touch it.
I have a shiny male Gardevoir, and I love him very much.
Oh, so do I. I was actually trying to get a shiny female Gardevoir for her, but the first shiny, and well, the only shiny so far that showed up was a male. And so I was like, do you still want it? No? Okay, well, now I have a male shiny mega Gardevoir, and it's awesome.
Good, perfect.
April,
Let him live the way he wants to.
I'm not one of those anti-gender people. I think gender is okay to have, like, as a thing. But I'd rather have more than two of them, please.
Yes.
Well, and the thing is that with games like Pokemon, it's, it's targeted at kids, and kids are very androgynous.
Yeah.
So, like, the model of the male character and the female character can be basically the same, and the only difference is, like, the clothes, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I think it would be totally possible for them to do similar to what Animal Crossing did, where you pick from, like, a set of clothes at the beginning. Or, like, you pick, like, your skin tone, and that's basically it. And then you just change everything else as you go. And you can make that character into, anything.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, too. I know that Pokemon Uranium had, like, a non-binary option, and I thought that was a pretty cool thing for
That's right, they did, yeah.
I mean, I think that was mostly because of Twitch, so.
Still cool.
Yeah, good on her. So.
Yeah.
It gets a little trickier when you get into like the Pokemon themselves, because obviously since there's a breeding mechanic that involves two different genders, that gets kind of wacky if like they can have other stuff. But like I don't think they need to do that, because like Pokemon are very much portrayed as animals, and like real life animals don't give a heck about their gender
genderless
identity.
Pokemon. We have genderless Pokemon that can still breed, only with Ditto, but they can, so.
Yeah.
I know there's one monster battler that I do play, the Dragon Quest Monster series, that has like a neutral gender as well as male and female, and that can breed with either. Like, I think that's personally ideal, but I figure Pokemon probably never do it.
Yeah, it might take a while for him to get to that level. When I was considering a neutral gender option, I was like, oh, it wouldn't be able to breed with either, but that would just make it worse. So if it could breed with both, that would be like actually a better mechanic.
So as you can see, I started to move on to Cloyster, but
Cool.
Is there anything that you think I should fix at this stage for Shellder?
Shellder looked fine when I last saw it. Yeah.
Okay. We'll refine it further as we go, but
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good start, though.
cool.
Animal Crossing has so many menus.
That is true. Animal Crossing.
I feel like most Nintendo games have that problem.
Fair. Yeah.
ever since we moved, my stylus has been doing this thing where every once in a while it just paints at full pressure, even though I'm obviously not putting full pressure.
Oh, jeez.
Here, have this thick line. You want that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Try, like, uninstalling and reinstalling your drivers at some point.
I guess I could try that, but like it was working fine before we moved, and then after we moved,
Weird.
Now it's doing that. So like it might have been, I don't know, got
Something
knocked
got
around in
jostled
the
in it.
move or something, but
Yeah.
I like how you put the zigzag of the opening in Cloyster's shell onto Shellder. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, I thought that was, like, just more interesting. Plus, how is he gonna bite onto Slowpoke's tail without any, like, little jaggy teeth?
Yeah, for real.
good point.
Someone mentioned earlier that they didn't even know that was a thing for a long time, and I feel like the only reason it was drilled into me is because Pokemon Snap requires you to like perform that evolution with a Shellder to get the snapshot of Slowbro.
Yeah.
I never. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I never played Snap.
You should at some point.
I don't know. I think
It's
the anime
it's like a
like
fun
also
little
really
spin-off.
pointed
You
it
have a
out.
Pokemon YouTube channel and you haven't played the N64 masterpiece Pokemon Snap?
Well, that just means that he can play it for his YouTube channel.
Yeah, you really should. It is very unique. I don't think it's good. It's very like
Right.
fun.
Yeah,
It's not
no,
very-
I saw, like, I knew people who had it and who played it, so I like watched them play as a kid. But
Like, I think it's a good game because it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Its uniqueness is kind of what makes it so interesting, and I don't know if it's kind of like one of those games that's more interesting in its mechanics than the like game itself. So like I don't know if they could do something like it again. I think Nintendo has stated, guys, stop asking for Pokemon Snap. We're not gonna do it. But it's definitely worth your time at least trying out, especially because you can beat that game in like a sitting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find a copy of it.
Karen, I think it's more fun than the Rotophoto stuff. Like, the Rotophoto stuff was really adorable, though. I miss my Rotom buddy.
Man, I forgot about that until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean, same here, but then I
Boy,
remember
that
it
was
actually taking a
forgettable.
while to do it.
Yeah. They like really pushed that too. In like the demo, they're like, take a picture of the back of Diglett's head. Dugtrio, sorry. But yeah, and then like what was the purpose of what did you get for doing that?
It was fun. I don't know.
Yeah, you
It was
didn't get
actually
anything.
kind of fun.
What was it for?
No, it was just an activity. Like, they put a lot of different random stuff in there, like the Mantine surfing.
Mantine surfing was cool.
And it
I
had a
remember-
purpose, yeah.
I remember you could get points from that, and there were like certain items you can only pick up that way. So
Yeah.
that
And
was
you can
cool.
only that was an early way of getting battle points, and you
It
could
was,
exchange
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And it was like an easier way in some regards.
Yeah, but it was also the only way to get Surfing Pikachu.
Oh yes. Okay, so
Yeah,
I had a mono electric team. I had a con, and I really wanted to have Surfing Pikachu, so I remember I had to get really good at Mantine surfing. Also, the
Yeah.
music is radical. If you have not heard the Mantine surfing music, go check it out. It's really good.
It is good.
I can't think of what it sounded like, so I don't remember if I ever played it with music on.
Pokemon has such good music. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't actually remember what the music was from.
Oh my god. Both you guys. YouTube after. Promise.
Yeah, I'll probably have to look it up after this.
Yeah.
Oh, this the position of this horn is a little bit awkward because it like just loses the kind of curviness of the horn from this angle, and I can't seem to get it right.
You can adjust, like, the way the horns look if you need to. I don't have a problem with it.
Well, like what would make it easy is if it was like Charizard horns where it just sticks straight out, but
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
back when Pokemon was purely on handheld consoles, I used to make a conscious purpose to only play with headphones on my first playthrough because Pokemon has really good music, but the DS has very bad speakers. So I wanted to appreciate it on the way through and really get a feel for it. And I think it was worth it. It was like a fun way to play.
At some point I grew out of playing with the music on. And I don't really know what the reason was. I just know that I stopped playing with the music.
I like having the music on, but I'm just not like a quality snob like Julie is.
I'll accept that. That's fine.
So I can listen through like a tin can and be fine.
I'm not
definitely
too much of a quality snob myself, but
once I start doing post-game stuff, like breeding, post-game stuff in like quotes, if you really want to call just walking back and forth to hatch eggs content, I'll turn off the sound at that point because at that point, the music that I'm hearing is the music that is next to the daycare, the music that is in the Pokemon Center, and the music that is in Battle Tower, and that's what I will have.
Sometimes I'll have it on in Battle Tower just because it's fun. But
yeah, and you can at least pick the track there. That is something I liked in Sword and Shield.
You can pick Undertale, but Pokemon.
I really liked the Battle Tower music. Or, well, I still do. I actually played ranked almost exclusively with the Battle Tower music.
It's good.
Yeah.
It is really good. It reminds me not just of Undertale, but also of Super Smash Brothers. So it's like this Pokemon, Undertale, Super Smash Brothers track, and it's just really good.
Wonderful. Toby Fox is such a multifaceted, disgustingly talented person, and I cannot wait to play through Deltarune.
Yeah.
Has anything more than the first chapter been released?
So what happened in that regard is he was working on the first chapter alone, and he said that just the time it took to develop the first chapter took him as long as it took to make all of Undertale because of the increased battle system and just the new mechanics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So he wanted to reach
level
out.
Of the art is quite improved as well.
It's just everything's a little deeper. So he wanted to reach out to other people to build a team to work on it as a full-fledged game. And he's posted little snippets on his Twitter, but it seems like we're not going to get another playable version until it's the full game.
Right. Infinipede, you put the or two of the horns on Cloyster pointing forward.
Yeah.
How did you see them being connected to the rest? Does the shell bump outwards there, or is it just?
I don't know. The ones I had pointing forward was I think just because that's the way they looked good to me. You can have them pointing backwards if you want.
I love this pose, by the way. It is jumping up in the air and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
I think I need to adjust the proportions a little bit. Probably the face either needs to be smaller or bigger. I'm not sure. But yeah.
This is also at a different angle than the if we're looking at the red, blue, yellow art.
Still good angle though. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it feels natural to me for the spikes to just be pointing outward from the shell in the same way that they are in the originals.
I have no problem with that. I think I don't exactly remember why I had them pointing forward.
Okay.
I think it was just something having to do with me being lazy and not wanting to cover stuff up. I already decided on those.
Yeah. Well, it's working out.
Yeah, the face, on the one hand, I feel like making it bigger makes it more, I don't know, more menacing, more, I don't know, that, it makes sense to me for the face to be prominent because it's a Pokemon and, they have big faces. But maybe for the concept of it being a pearl inside of a shell, having it small works better.
The size you had it at before was fine.
The intermediate size.
Yeah. Charles, are you asking why this project has chosen Shellder and Cloyster? Because we're doing them in order, doing the original Pokédex.
Yeah,
We're working
that's the
on
reason
Shellder
we're
and
doing
Cloyster
Shellder and
because,
Cloyster.
because that's where we are chronologically.
Yeah. If you're asking me personally why I chose to do these designs, it's because I like them. And I like mollusks.
Yeah, I never liked Shellder and Cloyster too much, but I don't really have anything against them either.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cam and Pikachu. That's so nice of you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Oh, Common Pikachu, thank you for the super chat. I'll try to figure out a way to share it with my collaborators.
No, that's okay. You
Yeah,
use
it's all
that.
good.
Buy yourself a nice sandwich.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
Yeah.
And
You
thanks
know-
for tuning in, even though that you don't always like what we have to say, because I think it's cool just to check out different points of view on stuff, even if you don't gel with it. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a big reason that I like doing my redesigns on stream. It's just like I go in with an idea, and generally I have a pretty solid idea of what I want to do with it. But as I go, like other people are going to tell me what they think of it, and a lot of times there's better ideas, or just like I can't decide between these two, so why don't you guys tell me which one is better? And it's just...
I feel like... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was done, really. I don't know what I was going to say.
Okay. I'm sorry. One of the things, too, when you see someone else putting a spin on something, and you're like, oh, I don't like that, that kind of forces you to figure out what you did like about the original, or what you would do if you were making your own, and that's just kind of a fun thought process as well.
Yeah, and that's another thing, because generally I'm redesigning Pokemon that I don't like, and so having people in the chat who do like that Pokemon and can tell me why they like it, and whether they still like my version or not, is really helpful.
Yeah, someone who has a strong attachment to a Pokemon design, too, can probably tell you the things about it that make that design special for them. And
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of hones in on the spirit of that Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes what they like about the Pokemon is something that I don't like, that I just disagree with, and that's okay. It happens.
I'm sure we could have it out about Slurpuff someday. Trust me.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that my Slurpuff is better.
Oh no, I don't like it, man.
I
I
can
was
tell you
literally about
no.
to say, you're a very well-rounded artist, and then you said that. In terms of taking feedback and everything, but
Yeah, I think that looks better.
Yeah. I haven't streamed art, at least not Fakemon stuff, in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be like, oh man, people are gonna get on and be like, that doesn't look like a Pokemon. I shouldn't make fun of the people who say that, because it is a valid criticism, but I hear it so much, it's like, oh my god, stop it.
It's something that I say a lot about real Pokemon. But the thing is that a lot of the times you see a Pokemon for the first time, even if it's an official Pokemon, and it just doesn't look like a Pokemon.
Yeah, because
the first time just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
I feel that way very rarely. I feel quite honed in on the Pokemon art style. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
can see
usually
that. I'm
very
okay.
accepting of new Pokemon, because I recognize okay, they're trying new things,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that
But
too.
But Libris, when you say something like Cryogonal doesn't look like a Pokemon, I feel that. I get what you're saying. It doesn't have a lot of qualities that really would be considered Pokemon-like.
See, it's I accept that it's a Pokemon, and in the same way, because, to me, the Pokemon world is, they try to make it analogous to the real animal kingdom. A rotifer doesn't look like an animal, it looks like a microorganism, but it's an animal.
Sure, yeah.
To me, Cryogonal is, the equivalent of a rotifer. or like a
Sure.
coral. It's like, this is an animal. Like, oh, but it looks like a plant. No, it's an animal.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. It just
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm
Doesn't work for
like
me.
I said, I'm very accepting with what I'll accept as like, this is a Pokemon.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can only fit 2 of the fibers on the back there, but that's okay.
That's fine. We'll just
That's
say
fine.
that the other ones are hidden under the
Yeah.
the little wing.
And I think, as far as people are saying in chat, I think Turban should just be a split evolution off of Shellder.
Yeah.
I miss split evolutions. Only
Me
Eevee's allowed to
too.
have them these days.
I really like what they did with regional evolutions, where it's like in this region it actually evolves an extra step.
I do like that. That is very cool.
Yeah.
I like that, but I also don't like it in the case that it's like, well, if you like the original one, or if you have the original one, too bad.
Sure.
Like, I would want to see, like, I know it wouldn't make any sense, but I'd want to see, like, the Cantonian Berserker.
I'd like that too.
It's just
It
like
does.
a samurai Viking.
Hoennian Obstagoon.
Yes!
It's
He
gonna
would be
feel.
he would be,
Visual K.
like, no, I was gonna say he'd be like a Yakuza, but
Oh,
Visual K
sure,
works
but
even
he's
better.
like, because he's a musician, right? He's
He's like a
he's heavy
hooligan
metal.
musician.
yeah, he's heavy metal, so I feel like
Yeah.
like a Visual K version of it would be
Yeah.
really awesome.
We haven't had to experience this yet, but I feel like regional evolutions might hurt when we go to a new region that has Linoon, but it just can't evolve. It's just like, it's bad again.
Maybe.
Hopefully they don't do that, but who knows what they won't do these days when they're just like, oops, half the dex is gone. Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll just have to wait and find out.
Yeah, I also wish we had gotten Leak Samurai Farfetch'd.
Yeah.
See, that would also be just like a great Cantonian Surfetched. Like, I wish they would have done that.
I miss Megas
Excuse me.
too. Bless you. I'm always gonna say I miss Megas, but it's never gonna be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Bless you?
I sneezed into my arm. I did my best.
I got the moistly breath.
I've also sneezed directly into my SO, so don't worry about it. I'll know it.
I'm single, so I can sneeze where and when I please.
Rate it Orpheus. Be like, Orpheus, get over here.
He's sneezed on me before because he has allergies.
Animals get so upset when you sneeze on them because they don't understand. They just know something loud and wet happened.
Yeah. All right. How is this looking?
I like it.
Good.
Any like proportions or anything like that I should fix at this point before we do another?
So
round
are the
of
markings
changes?
on the side of the? Are those markings on the side, or
They're
the
markings.
spine's gonna be okay? Okay.
Oh, the black stripes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because just you drew that one in a way where it almost looks like the spikes are coming out of it. So I thought that might have been interesting.
I'm not sure where you see that, but
The big squiggle that goes over the 3 spikes under them. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it kind of looks like the spikes are coming out of the shell. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's a hole in the shell.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But
You might
no,
wanna shift
it's
mark
just
over.
going underneath it, I guess.
I'm sure once the stuff is the lighter color. It'll look
Yeah.
that way.
Once I, do
Color that in,
do
like,
a
a
cleaner
purple.
sketch here because this is still very messy.
The Rafa's talking about how he prefers Gigantamax to Megas. Both of them really turn out to be a buff for the Pokemon that they're
Yeah.
doing. And since they started giving Gigantamax, like, those are forms as well, I don't know why they couldn't be combined into the same concept.
I feel like we talked
Yeah.
about this last time,
I think we did too.
Yeah, we probably did.
but yeah.
It's just one needs a hold item and one needs it to be a incredibly specific Pokemon that you get on, like, once in a blue moon when the sun is being eclipsed.
Yeah, I think I would have enjoyed Gigantamax or I don't know, Gigantamax. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Pronounce it however you like.
Okay, well, either way, I think I would have preferred it more if they made it a little bit more like easy to obtain.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And like, you know, especially in my first playthrough, like I didn't know that it had to be a specific Pokemon. So by the time I have like, by the time I find out that Corviknight has to be a specific, like, you know, Corviscar from the beginning, it's sort of a Rickety, then like, well, I'm already attached to this one. Like, I don't
Yeah, I feel that.
Even worse is when you get the special one, if you want to use it in casual battles for ranked where they don't have Gigantamax, you just can't even use the normal one. Even if you never press the button, they're just like, no, that Pokemon's illegal. We know what it could do. And it's like, what does that mean?
And it's also like, well, I have a shiny Machamp. Why can't he Gigantamax? That's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of punished you for bringing over older stuff as well.
Yeah.
I have hope that they're going to add like a Gigantamax candy or something like that unlocks it, because in the first DLC, your starter gains the ability to Gigantamax. So I mean, whatever mechanism they're giving to your starter, they could give to others, right?
Do you think it will be an additional starter they give you, or do you think your OG starter will unlock the ability to Gigantamax?
Well, the language in the promotional material implies that it's your existing starter that gains the ability to Gigantamax.
Now, what about Infinipede that threw theirs out? Like, what happens then?
I'm sorry, I didn't know what it evolved into because I was playing somewhat blind, and I was so disappointed by Grooky's final evolution. It's like,
really?
I wanted you to be green and orange, not that. Like, green and orange is one of my favorite color combinations, and they just ruined it.
I really like the middle. Oh my god, I can't. Don't tell me. Don't tell me what the middle Grookey is.
Don't worry, I don't remember either.
Thwacky?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool, got it.
I wish Thwacky had a neck, but other than that, it's fine.
I like his sausage life. He's like a noodle boy.
No, I wish he had a neck too.
But we have so many monkeys with necks already. Embrace the change.
Well, it doesn't have to be a neck as in like a physical like dipping.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like he has a neck. It could be like he's got a taper that separates his head from his body.
Or even a pattern. I just really don't like the way that it looks like he's just like wearing a onesie, but it's like top to bottom a onesie.
He looks like the loaf of ciabatta bread that my neighbor gave to me yesterday.
Well, that's so specific.
He does, though. Oh, if I was on camera, I would show you guys.
Is there a bread Pokemon? Have we gotten there yet?
I don't think so. And I feel like they missed their opportunity in Kalos to make a baguette Pokemon, but...
Well, we have a yeast Pokemon now. So that's something.
Yeast Pokemon?
Milcery?
No, Milcery's milk.
Yeah.
You can't make a cake out of just milk. You can't spin around milk.
Frosting with milk.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. Alchemy, well, the base form isn't cake. It is whipped cream.
Yeah. Milcery's like cream, and that you whip it.
I guess just because I'm thinking of the G-Max.
You are thinking of the G-Max.
Yeah. Yeah, because you turn around and so you're whipping the milk or the cream rather into whipped cream.
Yeah, it's not yeast. Do we have any like microorganism Pokemon yet? I feel like we do.
Solosis?
Yeah, there's Solosis family.
Yeah, Solosis is just a cell. He doesn't count.
I think he counts.
Wow.
I want to see like a planarian or something.
I want to see more nudibranchs. More like Gastrodon type of Pokemon. But like there's so much variety in nudibranch, so it's there's a
I
lot
know
of
they're really
possibility
popular,
there.
and they are really nice looking. I won't deny, but I would like to see Magcargo evolve into that like scaly foot snail that lives in volcanoes.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I mean, my cargo has been neglected for 6 generations, so
Yeah.
So now is the perfect time.
I mean, Farfetch'd was neglected for 6-7 generations,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then it finally got an evolution.
Isn't Tauros the only Pokemon in Gen 1 now that does not have a form or evolution?
Or pre-evolution, because James
Yeah.
has a pre-evolution.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, that might
the
be right.
only pure single stage now in Gen 1 is Tauros, I think.
yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
Which is weird to think about.
I have a
It could use a
tardigrade
pre-evolution. I don't think it
Fakemon,
needs to evolve.
Charles. It's a Tarrasque and a tardigrade. I have not sprayed it though. No, but the legends, all Gen 1 legends now have alternate forms. Except Mew, if you count Mew as Gen 1, which it is, but...
Doesn't Mew evolve into Mewtwo?
Well, it doesn't evolve, but in a way you could say that Mewtwo is a form of Mew.
It is.
You could argue it.
Yeah.
I mean, but, like, then you could argue that Pokemon that are, like, distantly related to each other are, like, forms of each other.
Well, I mean, I would argue that every Pokemon is just a form of the same creature, and I have argued that in a video before, but with Mew
Well, yeah.
specifically, you are actually, like, taking the genome, the DNA from one Pokemon, and just, like, manipulating it to make it the other Pokemon.
Yeah, Mew could have fought in the Clone Wars.
Yes. Yeah, I think that every Pokemon is more or less like a form of a single creature because, well, for one, they can all interbreed, and they, you know, they share a lot of moves and all that kind of stuff. So,
Well, they all can't interbreed. They can only all interbreed because of Ditto.
no, you can skip Ditto, and they can still all interbreed.
There's like a whole video on it, man.
I haven't watched it, but like, you mean by like, well, this Pokemon can breed with this Pokemon, which breeds with this Pokemon?
Yes, like ultimately they are all connected, even if you don't use Ditto.
I mean, sure.
Well, I mean, if a Wailord can breed with both field Pokemon, like a Farfetch'd, and with whatever water group it's in, because I can't think of what it is, but say Walrein. So even though Walrein and Farfetch'd aren't directly compatible, they are close enough that they share a compatible breeding partner.
Yeah. I would just take that to mean that DNA works differently in the Pokemon world. That or, like, that DNA works differently because then you have, like, them taking after one parent or the other. Like,
Do you think putting Wailord in the field breeding group was just like a fluke and then they just went with it? They're like, well, I guess that's how it is now.
No, I feel like they were just like, this is a mammal.
Yeah, that's it. Because the egg groups are the closest thing we have to like an actual like
Like a
taxonomic classification of Pokemon.
Oh, I have a question. Are the egg group names, are those canonical or are those fan-made?
Nope. They're not fan-made because they've been in like Pokemon Stadium and I think in Pokedex 3D as well. But they've never been in a main series game.
Very strange.
Very.
D-E-N-A or DNA. I would more like we could do like PNA. Pokey nucleic acid.
I don't think that the DNA works fundamentally differently, but breeding does because they're not animals, and like even animals, the genetic part of breeding, it can be completely different. It can be decided by a single chromosome. It can be decided by multiple, and so the Pokemon aren't animals. So just the fact that the species, so to speak, of the offspring is just decided by the female, to me doesn't change anything. It's just the species is decided by a female specific chromosome or something like that.
Yeah, that part makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been able to get behind the Pokemon are all one species argument.
Well,
I
you're
think
wrong.
you would have to consider them like something totally different to the point where you wouldn't even say they would be a species. Because, like you said, they wouldn't be animals in that case. They would we would classify them differently, like we classify viruses like somewhat differently.
Yeah, I don't think they are regular animals. So
yeah.
But what else do we have to use as a parallel?
Yeah, not a whole lot else.
Man, Shelder's so cute. Look at that little face. Look at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with the face and the eyes, the tongue. I still feel like the shell might be a little bit off. Just like I didn't get the shape quite right, but
fine. I have no complaints.
Okay.
I've told you before, like my design stuff, they're quick and dirty. They're not meant to be followed. Like, you don't have to follow them exactly if something doesn't work.
No, I know. But I don't think the problem is with the design. I think it's just like the way that I've drawn it looks a little bit wonky. I'm struggling a little bit with the perspective and the position of the two outer spikes on the top. Like, they don't look like they're symmetrical to me.
I'm bad at perspective, so
just play around with it till you like it. I think it's just kind of a funky angle and not a shape you'd see in real life very often. So
yeah.
Oh.
The bottom looks good now, though, which I was struggling with before. Now I feel like the bottom looks good. The top, not so much.
I just got a recipe for a golden slingshot.
ooh,
nice.
that means you shot down more than 300 balloons. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Maybe I need to make the outer spike on the top just kind of match the bottom a little bit better, so that the shape is more rounded. I don't know.
I can kind of see, like, maybe the other outer spike could use some tweaking. Like, because trying to, like, kind of look at it now.
Yeah.
Charles, I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the stream, but I did explain, like, why I chose the point for the back. And it's because there's a couple Pokedex entries that talk about them squirting out water to travel, like, very fast. And I was thinking, well, they can squirt out water through the little hole in the shell.
Yeah. I think that might actually be. Well, I think it's a reference to the bivalves. I don't know specifically what kinds they are. The ones that squirt. I guess like the Manila clam. Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
They do squirt water.
Yeah,
I think it goes out the front, but it's not for moving. But maybe ones that live underwater do it for moving.
Common Pikachu thinks that the pearl is off center.
I think it could be a little closer to the viewer.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. He can spit it out of his mouth too. I just thought that way he can jet both ways.
Oh, I'm gonna have some trouble here because apparently there's things that I drew on the wrong layer. Yeah, so like there's part of the face that's on one layer and part of the face that's on another layer.
Always bound to happen at least once.
I can't pronounce this guy's name, but he asked why they have feelers. Those are called byssus, and they're little like fibers that some clams and mussels use to stick to stones and the ground.
I've always just pronounced the beginning of their name Jag, but I actually have no idea if, like, I don't even know what language that is, Jag, so if you can tell me, I would like to get it right.
Maybe it's Klingon.
I mean, there are a lot of languages in the world, and
Yeah.
there's a good chance, I think, that I don't know all of them. It's just a possibility, though.
Yeah, it mentioned with Cloyster that they shoot the water out of their mouth, but now they can swim both forward and backward.
Yeah.
Landscaping takes a long time.
Oh, it does. I don't know how Julie did it because her island is like impeccable. And I'm just like, here's my graveyard. It's like a 5x6 space of wood. There's 2 gravestones and a sign that says press F to pay respect because I ran out of space.
That sounds amazing, and I want a graveyard now.
Yeah, don't belittle your island. Your island's very wonderful.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. I'm developing a neighborhood right now, so that
Nice.
involves moving everyone's houses, which
Yeah,
is very
I
expensive.
gotta move Rudy's house because he's in the way of my town square area that I'm making.
I
wanted to give- Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I got I have Hans, who is a Yeti.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, so I need to move him. He was like right in front of Red's secret beach. So it's just like, well, that's not gonna work. So so now I have to move him out of there. And so his neighbor is Wolfgang the wolf. Surprise, surprise. But now there's another person who's in front of his house that I need to move tomorrow. So anyways, it's a whole thing and it's very expensive.
The worst is when you like want to move the house over one space, but you can't move it because it conflicts with the house currently being there. So you have to move the house away and then back the next day. So it's 2 days and 100,000 bells just to get it just right.
Yeah. I have had that mistake, I think, like twice with moving some of these houses, but I've been fixing it by just like, okay, I'll
Moving
just
the rest of the island.
Yeah, it's like, I'll just extend this river one space or this cliff one space, and then it's fine.
I would love to see your island at some point.
Okay.
Oh, she's got a great island. My island, I think, is kind of boring, but I'm okay with that. I have a great house, though.
You do.
Yeah, I want to see your like classroom, and then you have to visit and check out my lab.
Yeah.
Ooh, you have a
Well,
lab.
let's do that. Yeah, no. So my house has a classroom, a mini museum, and a like a library or like a study kind of thing.
Cool.
Right now, I'm working on a main room that it's supposed to look kind of like the Cathedral of Shadows from Shin Megami Tensei games. I
Not
have
something I'm
2 rooms I
familiar
don't
with,
know
but
what
cool.
to do with. I have the Lochin Catfish room, which is exactly what it sounds like. I have my lab, and I have what Julie has referred to as the autism basement. Because I mean, I like making like kind of self-deprecating jokes about being autistic. So I've got like, you know how people are always like, oh, autistic people like to talk about trains, and I've met exactly one autistic person who likes to talk about trains, and 0 other autistic people who like to talk about trains.
It's just like that obscure thing that you could get so deep into that it feels like really appeals to people that have like obsessive personalities where it's like, oh man, I could tell you everything about trains. And it's like, I don't know a single thing about trains.
I think people on Tumblr agreed like a while back that the actual thing that every autistic kid is into at one point is like ancient Egypt.
I mean, is anyone not into ancient
Yeah.
Egypt at some point?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a good point. But I have it's the autism basement, and it's called that because it's got a train set on an earth rug, like right smack in the center.
It's perfect.
Okay, does the shell look good to you?
Yeah, it looks fine to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this better.
Okay.
It is a challenge. It's just a strange shape.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to like mold it out of clay or something and put it in exactly the right position.
Take a picture of it, trace the picture.
Yeah. I wonder if, actually, like, now that I think about it, I wonder if they ever do that, like, with the official Pokemon, if they, you know, make the model and then pose the model in order to draw the official art.
I would bet you they do.
Yeah.
I know, back when CG was in its really early stages, the film Ice Age, to make all their character models, they actually sculpted them out of clay and then scanned those into a computer that way, because it was easier to get the detail you needed on a clay model and work off of that than build it from scratch in a PC at that point.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
Charles is suggesting pointing the byssus forwards.
Okay.
I personally like the way you've pointed them backwards, but if you want to try that, be my guest.
Sure. I mean, I think it looks alright the way it is, and especially if it's supposed to be attaching to rocks, you probably wouldn't have it pointing forward, but...
I tend to agree, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because they're not really feelers, right? So it doesn't... I can't think of a good reason to put them forward.
Yeah, they attach to rock.
Yeah. Okay. This is like Silcoon and Cascoon, where they have spikes, but actually it's just like extensions of their body.
Yeah, actually, if you look up like I think the Wikipedia page on Byssus has a image of a clam attached to a rock with Byssus, and it looks like a Silcoon. So
okay, yeah. I thought you were gonna say that there was a picture of Silcoon or Cascoon on the Wikipedia.
No,
but...
that would be really funny. I knew a guy who once edited like obscure Wikipedia pages just like a troll move, and that would be a good one. But
yeah,
I don't do that personally, but he told me he edited the list of World War II historical fiction to include Dragon Ball Z. And he edited this like one like obscure K-drama and added a synopsis for a made-up episode that sounded real. But yeah, that was back when it was a little easier to like actually make troll edits on Wikipedia.
Yeah, I actually did something like that once. I don't remember what it was that I edited, but I know that it was with PMF inside jokes.
Oh, I feel like I remember that thread where we were talking about like editing like PMF inside jokes into something.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't remember what pages I edited or what I put in them, but it was PMF inside jokes that...
Okay, I have
that sounds like something that we would have done back in the day.
Yeah, for sure.
I have the opportunity to give one of my people a new catchphrase, so hit me with ideas.
Oh, do you get to like actually type it in?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What type of villager?
Yeah, who is it?
It is Hazel, who is a sisterly person, and she's like a squirrel. She's one of like the starter neighbors that I got.
Yeah, the squirrel with the unibrow.
Yeah, she has the unibrow, and her catchphrase is "Wow." So
it's fantastic.
So I just like I need to change this. This is my opportunity to change it.
Wow. I think you already reached the pinnacle there.
Brow
Fair.
game?
I
don't know.
challenge you to do better.
Let me look at a picture of her.
She's really cute, actually. Like, I really like her. At first,
Oh
I
my
didn't
god,
because of these...
she's...
What I really appreciate about her is she's got the unibrow, but she's still got like the really cute femme eyelashes, and like she cares about her appearance. She just also has like a really big brow.
She's like Frida Kahlo.
Yeah.
But yeah, like at first I didn't like her because of the catchphrase, but once I've gotten to know her now, she's really cute. So, so just like, but yeah, since I kind of want to change the catchphrase,
You want to change the catchphrase?
yeah, exactly. Not kinda. I really want to. It's not very good. It's the one thing about her I don't like.
Change it to brow. That's what I call music.
I wish.
There's not enough characters for that.
Well, you could go with brow.
Oh, brow. That I like that actually.
Okay, let's steer away from unibrow.
Okay, no brow.
She also likes flowers.
Did like Chip and Dale have a catchphrase or something? I feel like that would be a good place to pull from for a squirrel character.
That would be.
D's nuts. I'm sorry.
You're asking the wrong people. I'm sorry.
No, I'm asking the perfect people. But I'm a bit too much of a prude for these.
Oh, man. I would say if I get a squirrel, but I'm going like 99% cats and tigers, so.
April's suggestion's cute. Aw, nuts. That's just.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, nuts.
Aw, nuts.
Except, like, she calls it as a term of endearment as well.
Yes, nuts.
She's calling you nuts. Yeah, Rafa, I'm passing on lions though, because I don't like any of the Animal Crossing lion.
All right, does that look okay?
Does.
Yeah,
I like it.
Cool.
it's good.
I was thinking about our streams and how long it takes just like figure out one design, and I was sort of dreading but also really looking forward to the Eevee stream.
Oh my god.
Because that's gonna be 4 Pokemon.
Oh my god.
And like I think I have really good ideas for the 3 evolutions. Eevee itself I don't really know what to do with because I think that Eevee is actually really good already.
It's a fine Pokemon. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing really wrong with it as its own Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason why it's like the second mascot, basically.
Yeah. Like, taking away, like, all the context of, like, its evolutions and, like, why it evolves into what it evolves into and stuff. It's like, this is a cat-fox thing. It's cute.
Yeah, and like, it is meant to be a kind of nondescript mammal Pokemon, and it is.
Yeah, it works. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's so beloved that whatever you do, no matter how good it is, people are going to hate it because it's not going to be Eevee.
That's true too. But yeah, so like doing 4 Pokemon in a single stream, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah. I believe in you.
Yeah, it's gonna take, like, twice the time.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start it and then I'm gonna come home from work and you're only halfway through?
I was more than halfway through with Clink.
Uh-huh. I'm just gonna go with peanuts.
Peanuts?
Peanuts.
It just says peanuts.
Like, because she says it as a term of endearment, but then, like, like deer. So she'll call me Peanuts, but then also, like,
She's a big fan of Charles Schultz.
Yes.
Sure. Sorry, I'm not sure who that is.
Peanuts.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
She's gonna take the football away.
Yeah.
I could make it Snoopy. But yeah, Peanuts is fine.
Can't believe you're going with peanuts instead of these nuts.
A real tragedy.
By which I mean I can definitely believe it, but just trying to get this pattern to look right. I don't know. Damn angles.
I did have a bit of a weird glitch, I think, though. Because, like, so I changed the catchphrase of one person, and it spread to two others.
No, that's normal.
They do that. They do
Okay.
that. They talk to each other, and they're like, "Hey, I heard this cool thing. You want to say it too?" And they're like, "Sure." So, unfortunately, theming them to your villagers can get kind of frustrating because you might have like an alligator talking about peanuts the next day, and you're like, "Great."
Yeah, like I did get. I told Rudy, who's a jock type villager, to change his catchphrase to "gains a clock" after a like bodybuilding YouTuber one of my friends is really into. But and then it spread to what's his face? There's like a tiger who's also a jock I have in my town, and I'm totally blanking out on his name. Rowan. It spread to Rowan, and I was like, okay, that's fine. They both love to lift. But then it spread to Clyde, who I'm getting rid of soon anyway, so that's fine. But he's lazy, and he's like a lazy horse, so it doesn't really work for him. He's just a poser.
If I had, like, known a little bit better, then I might have, like, changed, I don't know, the first one to something else, but I don't know.
Like, I don't mind theming so much, like, even if they start saying weird stuff, because then eventually, like, well, it's like eventually you're going to ask me to make you a new one, so...
Yeah.
And you can always reset it by talking to Isabel.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like I have Drake, who's like a little duck, and he's all lazy, and he tucks the bugs on his floor, and he's adorable. But yeah, he was like asking for a new catchphrase, and so I was like, sure, because I didn't know any better, and so I made it milkshake. And then suddenly, like, other characters started saying it too, but it only works for him because he loves snacks and food. So it's like
Well, maybe the other ones like snacks and food too.
so it's
Everyone likes snacks and food, as far as I know.
yeah, but Drake especially, like, he was sharing his peanut brittle with like the Yeti the other day. It's like
There's a Jagger has an interesting idea about the evolutions in the comments.
Oh, and Jag, if you did answer me about what language it is, I totally missed it because I don't have the chat on my screen.
It's
so
a
I have to
conlang
actually
he
look.
made up.
Sorry?
It's a conlang they made up, like a constructed language.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's based on like Germanic languages.
Cool.
Interesting.
All right.
at least someone was paying attention.
It's
Yeah,
alright.
thank you.
I checked the chat.
Yeah, normally I make a point of checking the chat, but normally I'm talking to myself mostly.
It also started going a little fast after that because everyone started talking like conlangs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. It's nice when people find the chat interesting. So the idea was different carnivorans for the different Pokemon, like Vaporeon could be an otter or sea lion, Jolteon could be a jackal or serval. Yeah, that's
I think
basically
taking
it.
elements from
Except
that would be really cool.
that I do intend to make Vaporeon a giant river otter. Because I think it's the type of otter that is the most suited to kind of fit in with the anatomy of the Eevee evolutions. And Flareon, I'm thinking of a maned wolf, because the colors and it has a lot of fur around the neck as well. So
That's gonna be a tall Flareon.
yes, I suppose it will.
You
Is
could
that
also
not
just
okay?
like chop the legs off the maned wolf and then so this Flareon.
No, if it's gonna be a maned wolf, it's gotta be tall.
I'm scared.
Skinny legs.
It's like, see, it's not going to look like Flareon if it doesn't have, like, that distinct anatomy.
I think I can make it work. I haven't sketched it like this, so this is just like an idea, just like what I've thought of. But I think I can make it work. Challenge accepted. And for Jolteon, like I think a cheetah would make the most sense.
Yeah.
And then you also have, there's both the very cat-like cheetah and also the very dog-like wolf one to kind of show the full range of it. But I wouldn't make it exclusively carnivorans because I think that that Umbreon needs to be a rabbit. So, it just kind of has to be like a generic mammal kind of thing. So we're not going to do Umbreon unless we decide to do the new 151 Plus afterwards. But yeah, that's just like that's my idea. That's where it would go.
Huh. Interesting.
Because Umbreon is based on, or at least partly based on the moon rabbit. So if it's going to be a moon rabbit, there's got to be a rabbit precedent in Eevee.
In that case, Espeon would have to be some kind of feline then.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's a Nekomata.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Did you sign up for Porygon Shed or did I?
Porygon. I don't think I did.
Because I remember I signed up. If you didn't, then I think I might have signed up. Because that was like one of my faves when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't think I would have.
With Porygon, like, if we're updating these Pokemon to be like, what if they were designed today, sort of, I'm gonna make Porygon just like hella low poly to really, because like Porygon was like back then. That was when those sort of graphics were kind of normal. So
Right.
it was like, oh, this Pokemon is new and it travels in the digital like world and stuff. But now it's like this Pokemon is an old. This Pokemon is like an artifact of the digital age. It's like like you're like a GeoCities webpage.
Like the Space Jam website.
Yeah, it's like the Space Jam website of the Pokemon world.
If they change the Space Jam website when the new one comes out, I will riot.
You gotta like make sure it's on the Internet Archives.
It is a piece of history.
I'm just gonna have to take your word for it because I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I guess I can go
Porygon
looking,
2
but
is the polished one, Rafa. Porygon Z is like the forked version that like somebody put out an unofficial patch for.
yeah, and it's a little bit wonky, a little bit corrupted or buggy.
Yeah. Yeah, Porygon. But the thing is, Porygon 2 was released like when like computer graphics were like starting to get a little better. So it's like there's a sort of timeliness to them that we don't have now looking back on them.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're doing the new 151 expanded at some point, which whether or not we're doing it, this is still my plan for Porygon.
Yeah.
Is like Porygon, the original Porygon encapsulates like 90s technology.
You know what would be interesting for Porygon, and this is just an idea, you don't have to go with it, but what if it was pixel art?
The problem with that, I have heavily considered it, but prior to this being a thing, I have a Fakemon called Porygon RBY. That's basically like the dot Digimon, but as a Porygon.
Oh, okay.
That is just a pixel Porygon. So I didn't want to like
just be like, well, this is basically my Fakemon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what it looks like, but I think it would be really interesting to try to translate a pixel art Pokemon concept into a, like, you know, properly developed 3D concept. So
If you ever want to do fan art for my Pokemon, I can draw you a reference to my Fakemon.
sounds good. All right, I'm pretty happy with the position of the pattern there.
I like that.
Yeah, Porygon could be a rigging model. Like T-posing? T-posing Porygon?
That's Porygon T.
Porygon T? Oh my god.
Okay, should we move on to Cloyster here?
Yeah, sure.
a
Super
big
realistic Porygon too.
I like where that's at right now.
skin? Yo, no bad talking Digimon here. I'm a Digimon fan. I mean, you can talk badly about Digimon if you want. I'll just ignore it. Porygon Z Fallout 76. that just lets you steal your opponent's Pokemon straight out of their inventory.
Isn't Porygon Z Fallout 76 what Elon Musk named his new kid?
The thing that I'm the most curious about with that name is how the hell are you supposed to pronounce it?
No one
Are you actually just
Explained
supposed to read it
I
out?
think, on like the Joe Rogan show or something.
Sorry?
He explained it on like some podcast. I think it was maybe like the Joe Rogan show or something. Where it's just like X and then some, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just
don't
like
know.
the images where people are putting like the kids' names, like dumb fictional character names, all laughing at Elon Musk's kid.
Yeah.
My favorite one I saw was kids named Karkat and Kanaya laughing at Elon Musk's kid.
With those kinds of names, you just wonder, like, what are the parents thinking? Because clearly they're not thinking about the well-being of the kid.
They're just so in a different world than we are
Yeah.
that it doesn't even register that might not be.
They're not thinking about the well-being of the kid. They're naming it like a pet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I wouldn't name my pet that.
Yeah, X-A12. See, with X-A12, I think Elon Musk's kid's name is a better name than Absidy because you can shorten it. Like, maybe
What?
unpopular opinion here, but I would rather have X-A12 as a name than Absidy.
What is Absidy?
A-B-C-D-E.
Oh, yeah.
But
that
it's
one.
pronounced Absidy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have very mixed feelings on Elon Musk because it's like I know I shouldn't like him as a billionaire, but like I'm also glad he's trying to get us into space because I think we really need to start like trying to get into space.
I think no matter what side you fall on Elon Musk, you definitely know that he is a very interesting person to follow.
Yeah, he's just crazy and he
Yes.
doesn't give a shit. So like
I do think he's very smart. I also think he's very crazy.
yeah.
Those things are not mutually exclusive.
I also think that when you become a billionaire, you just stop caring about like randos.
You get very disconnected from
Yeah, to a degree, your priorities change.
Yeah. Renesmee and Albus Severus. God, I forget about Renesmee sometimes.
Yeah. That's a better name.
Man, I am genuinely a fan of Twilight still in 2020, but Breaking Dawn as a whole, boy, Breaking Dawn is something. It is bad.
See, Common, I can't like get on people's backs for like what their parents did. Like, I can get on their parents, yeah, like, that's stupid. But, like, that was also, like, a countrywide thing. Like, I don't know, like, it's hard to get, like, upset at, like, Wow, I have ancestors who came over on the Mayflower. It's like, should I be angry at them for bringing diseases here? I don't know.
I mean, on the one hand, you should, but also, like, what are you gonna do about
Yeah,
it?
but they're long dead, and like me as a person, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not really anything that you or anyone can do to change
Yeah.
that.
Truth.
Yeah. So.
Someone there?
You mean besides our cats?
Well, I mean, Saucepan's looking towards the door, so it's possible.
Oh, I mean, we have neighbors whose doors are literally right next to ours.
Oh,
So
fair enough. Yes.
Yeah, my upstairs neighbors have been like going biking recently. So and they're like take their bikes up and down the stairs, and it just sounds like somebody banging on the front door.
right. Yeah. Are people allowed to go outside?
Yeah. You should just be wearing a mask if you're going into like a public place.
Right. No, like statewide lockdown.
No.
No. We're more strict than a lot of other states are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because-
things in the city are particularly bad.
Yeah, thank God I
Close
don't live in the city.
proximity.
Yeah. Our province here is or just announced reopening plans, and we're in pretty good shape overall compared to the rest of Canada, and definitely compared to the U.S.
Yeah. That's not
People in the
hard,
U.S.
though.
want to reopen. I wouldn't say majority, but like a vocal minority, and
Yeah. In a lot of like the red states.
yeah, it's not time. It's not time for
Yeah.
that.
And you've got people doing like Nazi salutes at these rallies because they're just basically like mini like alt-right rallies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in Brazil, the president is like basically benefiting a little bit from the fact that he's not handling things well at all, like even worse than Trump, because even to this day he denies anything being a problem.
I've heard some stuff about that, but not a whole lot.
But he's benefiting from the fact that people can't go outside and protest.
Right, because they just do that normally, right?
Yeah, normally there would definitely be protests at this point, but there can't be protests.
Yeah. They should just do what the Hong Kongers were doing and protest in Animal Crossing.
Right, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then China like now they've started cracking down on like online gaming now because of Animal Crossing.
Wow.
Or
They're
Animal
saying
Crossing.
like Chinese people can't play with non-Chinese people, and that's gonna kill some World of Warcraft guilds because I know like
Yeah. Blizzard should be scared.
yeah, like you were so pro-China before, now what are you doing? Like they're gonna break up all these guilds.
How's this looking?
Looks good.
Cloyster has horns to fill space in the shell and to replace the clit horn that it used to have.
It's a scientific term.
I mean, what else are you gonna call it?
You really
Yeah.
can.
Okay. I should stop playing. That's enough now.
Why do you have to stop playing?
I've been playing like all day. And I don't know. I just like
Is that a reason to stop?
well, it's just like I don't actually I don't actually have anything else to do, but I'm like actively trying to find stuff to do, and it's like you've like done all the renovations that you kind of can until like you can move like this person's house kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
Anyways, like I could prepare things for the bamboo grove or like whatever, but it's just like no, just
Yeah, I tend to play like a couple hours a day.
Mhm.
I should just like dodo code and open it up to chat right now.
And
Hey,
have to
go
run and
ahead.
get my game then, and then like raid your stores.
Yeah.
Well, no, don't go ahead, because then I'm gonna want to join.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
I have definitely put some hours into my town.
I don't know. Like I wish that I could progress through the game, but without really having to develop my island and just keep it wild, because that's how I want it.
I think there's a lot of ways to like keep a nice wild aesthetic to it. You know, like you shouldn't feel pressured to have it a certain way.
Yeah, it's like
No,
I know
and
eventually I'm gonna need to get like 5 stars for the stupid gold watering can, but
yeah, I'm probably just not gonna bother getting to that point. I'm just gonna. Oh, am I doing this on the wrong layer? I am doing this on the wrong layer. Yeah, no, I'm probably just not gonna bother getting to 5 stars, but you know, I had to get extra villagers just to get KK to come to my island, and I don't really care about having KK on my island, but I wanted to have access to the landscaping
Terraforming.
features. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, that meant I needed more people, even though I didn't really want more people, and my 2
My problem is I
newest
want too
residents I'm
many
not really thrilled about. So.
Who are the people that you got?
I got Cleo, who is a horse
Yeah.
and calls me Sugar.
Sugar.
Cute.
And I got what's his name? I don't remember his name, but he's a grumpy rabbit with a giant mustache.
Oh, him,
Gaston.
right.
Gaston, that's right, and he's got an absolutely horrible looking house. I mean, on the inside. On the outside, it's fine, but
Yeah, I remember. No,
I mean, Kat has literal garbage in her house, but I'm not gonna judge her. She's great.
I actually got really lucky with, or at least I think I got really lucky with all the villagers that I got. Like the one that I really didn't like was Louis, who was like the jock character that I started with. And in the end, I didn't really mind that he was a jock, but he said really mean things to some of the other villagers. I was like, dude, what is your problem? But yeah, because I have Pango, the anteater, and she like wants to be a pop star, so she's super cute. And then he told her that like, oh well, you need to be born with that talent to make it. I was just like, wow, uncalled for, jerk. So ever since then, I've been wanting to get him off my island. And so one day he was just like, oh, I don't want to, like, I'm thinking of moving on. And I'm like, cool, bye.
Yeah, that was me when like Rocket was like, "Hey, I'm gonna move," and then I'm like, "Please do. I know like 8 other people with you."
Yeah. I don't want my Rocket either. Sorry, Rocket. I'm sure she's someone's favorite. She's not mine.
Yeah.
who is Rocket? Or what is Rocket?
She's the pink Power Ranger gorilla.
Okay. Having never played an Animal Crossing game before this one, I don't know what you're talking about, but
She's wearing like a pink race car driver's outfit.
okay.
She's a gorilla.
Interesting. But yeah, who else do I have now? Wolfgang the Wolf, who's like cranky, but I don't know, he's kind of cool. Oh yeah, and then there's Tasha, who's like a skunk, I think. And she has a skincare routine, which I'm all about.
That's so cute.
And then I just got a lion called.
She works in cosmetics,
Yes.
in case you didn't know that.
And then I got a lion called Elvis. And he's supposed to be cranky too, but I don't know, he seems fine.
He was at my campsite the other day.
Hmm?
Elvis was at my campsite the other day.
Ah, yeah. Oh yeah, he has like a gold like throne room and a harp. it's just like, cool, like your style, man. And then, yeah, I think the one character that I'm a little bit not enthusiastic about is Melba, who's like a koala. And she's like adorable, but she has the same dialogue, or a lot of the same dialogue, as another villager that has the same personality. So I'm just like, you kind of like remove,
You're boring.
Yeah. Yeah, basic.
Yeah, like, I mean, you end up having to double up on 2 personalities if you go for the max amount of villagers anyway, so.
I'm really enjoying how different our chat is than the chat that people are having.
Sorry.
Yeah,
We're watching. We're
I'm
like,
just
man,
not-
Animal Crossing villagers, and chat's like Karl Marx, and it's like, well, these are a little different.
Okay, believe it or not, there's not a real communism magical girl anime. Sorry, tongue-tied there. But a long time ago, ages ago, I used to read this website about like bad cosplay, and the people who ran that website came up with a fake anime about communist magical girls to try and convince like nerds at conventions that this was a real anime, and they'd eventually get them to be like, oh yeah, I saw that, that was really good. But yeah, communist magical girl anime. They had art for it and everything. I don't know if you can still find the site online. I don't even remember the name of the anime. But Julie, that was the site that had the Pyongyang Grinds comics on it.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah, the "You Are Suck" era in North Korea.
All right. I think the like general design is done, so we just need to get some colors in there.
Yay!
Alright.
It's cute.
Are you happy with Cloyster? Do I need to adjust anything? Face size or anything like that?
Shellder, you mean, or?
No, I switched to Cloyster before I
Oh,
said
okay,
that.
there
But
we go.
yeah, I realized that
Yeah.
you wouldn't know that.
Cloyster's okay. I would like it if maybe the pearl face were maybe a bit more round near the horns, but that would require like moving one of the front horns back a little. So.
I feel like the face is coming off a little Crobatty right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let me remember which layer here is the face.
Yeah, if Crobat's face was actually round. Or, like, he actually had a head.
All right, work with me here.
Okay. So what are we doing differently then?
Well, for my part, I would change the teeth to be more like the Sugimori Cloister's teeth.
What is that like?
It's vertical, like 3 vertical
vertical.
lines
Yeah,
instead
okay.
of 1
Yeah,
horizontal
well,
line.
that's an easy one.
Yeah.
And more round towards the front. Is that?
Yeah, more rounder. Jag says it needs to be more pearl-like.
I think that'll have to come through in the shading. Because besides it being like more properly circular, unless we remove the horns, but
No,
Could you make the horns like longer and slimmer, kind of like antennae?
I mean we could, but what if it was a single horn in the middle of the forehead to mimic the old horn?
try, yeah. As long as it doesn't look like, you know.
What's like what do you mean?
Like what? Say it. We're all thinking it.
Like a clitoris.
Oh, what?
What are you talking about?
Another suggestion was from Jag was if the horns were a bit rounder and less pointy, like pearl knobs. So that's another route we could take.
Pearl knobs.
Yeah, like when you have like one of those like pearls that's like bumpy.
Okay.
That's just got me thinking of like Hellboy though, with like the flat horn thing.
Right.
Which could work.
Well, I'm going to try it with a single horn in the middle of the forehead.
Okay.
But we'll see.
I like the changes that this is going through a lot.
Good.
It's looking better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Much better.
I think this eye needs to be a little bit farther out. How's that? Does that help?
Yeah. Common Pikachu suggested making the horn a little longer. I like it as it is. If that's something you think would help, then go for it.
I'm not sure what would making it longer do. I guess it would make it a little bit closer to the original.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself. So I just thought I'd read that out to you.
Mm-hmm.
To see what you thought.
Well, I guess I can try it. I don't know. I don't think it'll make too much of a difference, but
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make too much of a difference, but it's up to you which one you like better, I suppose.
yeah. Yeah, the longer horn does make it more of a callback to
Go for it.
to the original, but
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. was just trying to move the horn. Why is it moving everything? Sure.
Hi, the Ruin Maniac Files. Chat went on quite a tangent. I wouldn't even say I started it here first, so not a tangent. I just had opinions to share.
Yeah.
There. I think that placement looks good now.
Yeah, I agree. Why doesn't Cloyster have the horn on its head? It's much better that way.
I'm so convinced that somebody in some like Japanese salaryman who works for Game Freak just saw a picture of Cloyster and was like, haha, it's funny, keep it like this.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I feel like the angle of the horn too on original Cloyster, it like couldn't stab anything with that.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
Cloyster closes, does the horn stick out very much?
I don't know.
I mean, it depends on how aroused the Cloyster is.
I knew exactly which direction that joke was going.
Yeah, what if the head is a little bit higher up? Is that, I think that looks maybe a little bit more natural?
Sure.
I'll have to complete this part over here. This gap here would just be like almost completely black though, so it's not like it'll be a super noticeable gap.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
Yeah. Wow, are you that bored?
No. I'm just a bit uncomfortable. I've been sitting a while.
You wanna go for a walk?
I'm just gonna grab a pillow.
I am ordering food because I am hungry.
My sit upon hurts a little bit from the wooden
Why,
chair.
why can't I figure out? Ah, there it is. I was like, I can't find that layer. All right. Well, should we just work on putting some colors on them then?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think this looks good.
I do too.
So, Shellder, and in your references in your sketch,
Yes.
in Finpede, you basically had official Shellder colors, right? Or
Yeah,
did you
for
have
the
any
show.
other ideas? Okay. Well, I guess for this, I'll take just a dark color. This one, yes, okay. And
Oh, it's warm.
it is warm. Hey, do you want to turn the fan on?
I will.
Yes.
Yeah, it snowed here yesterday.
It snowed there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that normal for this time of year?
It's not
Yeah.
abnormal in New York.
Okay.
Wow. No, it's been very warm here in Victoria, but
Oh, lucky.
I was about to say Vancouver, but that's not where we are.
Not anymore.
Oh, you're away from your crazy neighbors now, though, right?
Oh yeah. We actually had an exchange with them, literally when we're moving out.
Ooh, spill
wow.
the deets.
Oh no, it was just really just kind of annoying because there are downstairs neighbors, so we never really interacted with them directly before. But when after our movers had taken most of our stuff, we were just loading up the car with just some of the stuff that we wanted to take ourselves and the cats and that kind of thing. And so I parked the car in a spot that was our old building had a sort of a courtyard. It was two buildings that kind of formed almost like a Pokeball shape, and so there was a courtyard in the middle. And so I parked the car in the courtyard, and the guy out of his balcony is oh, you guys are ruining my grass.
Yeah, we parked on my lawn.
Yeah, you parked on my lawn. And there's a path. It's not exactly a street, but there's a semi-paved path that goes around the courtyard, and that's where the car was. And I to make space for other cars going in that path as well, I parked a little bit onto the grass, but it was the width of half a tire going on the grass. And this guy that has never talked to us before, we've never interacted with him before, thinks that it's funny to complain about his grass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's not his grass too, right?
Yeah, if it's an apartment building, it's not
Yeah, no, it's not even his grass. Yeah.
But yeah, he thought he was hilarious, and I was just this isn't funny, at all.
What a professional chode.
Yeah. But yeah, so we left.
Certainly don't miss
Congrats.
loud music at 3 a.m.
Yeah. The only downgrades that this apartment has compared to the other one is that this isn't to the top floor, and so we have upstairs neighbors now.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of knocking and stuff that we can hear, or people walking around every once in a while. But
Yeah. Other than that, though, we haven't really heard of people. So.
Nope.
So that's really nice.
Yeah. And with everyone inside, we haven't met any of our neighbors.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, my there's 3 other people in this building because it's a house basically.
Okay.
And we've decided we're all extending our quarantine to each other to just hang out 6 feet apart. Because we realize we're sharing air anyway. If if my upstairs neighbor Mike cooks something, then I can smell it. So it's well, there's probably corona droplets coming through the air vents anyway. So we've been having brunch out on the patio.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
I mean, if they're people that you actually get along with, then
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm very careful when I leave the house, which I rarely do, but I haven't bothered quarantining from my husband or 2 of his coworkers because if any of us get it, we're all gonna get it. So it's just kind of that thing where we don't really bother because they work in such close proximity anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same with us basically.
Yeah.
There's no point in Oh, I just realized I made Shellder purple when it's supposed to be black.
But yeah, like since I work in a drugstore, like I get exposed to many people. So
Yeah, that's a bummer. Do you wear the face mask on the job?
my boss doesn't like us doing that. 'Cause,
That's
What the heck?
Yeah, no, it's just, well, I mean, mind you, like, it's not as bad in BC. I think if it was, like, more serious, then she would be fine with it. But because we
Okay.
work in the cosmetics department, it's, like, we need to maintain the appearance of, like, you know, normalcy. So,
Yeah.
Right.
but, like, you know, in BC, like, we're good compared to Canada, and then on, like, Vancouver Island is good compared to BC. So, like, we're pretty cushy here,
we're in pretty
admittedly.
good shape.
So yeah, so like I would be like also like outraged if it was just like, you're not letting me wear the mask, like what the hell? But like here it's not as serious. So yes.
What do you think of making the purple a little bit redder?
Yeah,
more
sure.
like the original.
Go for it.
Like what I have for Cloyster?
Yeah. Well, a
Yeah.
little bit closer to that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I actually might need to run. I just realized I need to pick up some medication, and the pharmacy closes at 6.
Oh.
So you have 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's really close by. I'm just getting
Okay.
my car and go.
I'll hold down the fort. I'll speak twice as much.
All right. I will drop back in if you're still streaming when I get back.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, if I'm not back by the time this is over, thanks for having me.
Always our pleasure.
Yeah.
And-
Be in here.
And we'll see you either later or next month.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye.
Be back in a bit.
Yeah. Dead quiet.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna talk twice as much.
Well, I need a topic to talk about.
Well, you can tell me if you're happy with these colors. I think it works.
I am happy with those colors. I think getting the pearlescent texture on the inside of the shell is going to be a battle, but I'm kind of imagining it the way you customize the shell furniture in Animal Crossing. There's like a very pearlescent customization option.
Yeah, I don't think that it's too difficult, because basically all I have to do is, and like I don't really need to do it for this because I'm gonna redo all of it anyway with you know, the final lines and all that kind of stuff. But basically, I just need to take some colors and sure. And just paint very kind of lightly in a variety of colors. So there, you know, put a blue, put a pink, and put a green, maybe, you know, something like that, similar to what I did for Dugong.
Right. You did a good job on Dugong.
Yeah, so I did this just really quick. I think the colors work already, but
That
obviously
already
it'll
helps
be-
it read. Yeah,
Yeah.
just that.
Good job.
So
I don't
that's-
want to step on Nessa's design, but I feel like if I had redesigned this, I might have tried to see if I could have make it work if I made the pearls themselves white.
Mm.
I don't know if they'd read like the Pokemon though. It might be too different.
Yeah, I think it could work if maybe the inside, like you kind of flip the color, so instead of it being light on the outside and then dark on the head, if it was flipped, I think that could work. But
Maybe the shiny.
maybe the shiny.
I need more tea.
When don't you need more tea?
Right?
I mean, you personally. Me, I'm okay without tea.
What kind of drinks do you like to drink?
I like juices and chocolate, basically. I don't like tea very much, although iced tea is fine, if it's strong enough. I guess. And I don't like coffee either, so.
I like coffee, but it absolutely destroys my insides, so I do not like to tango with it.
Darn.
Destroys your insides.
Yeah, coffee's like me signing a contract. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna have diarrhea for the rest of the day. I guess I have to
Is that what
be
happened
cool
this
with
morning?
No, I wouldn't knowingly drink coffee if I knew I had to be somewhere. Seriously though, like without fail, like I can't do coffee.
Huh.
Yeah, no, it can be really hard on a lot of people's like stomachs and everything. So,
Yeah.
but I don't seem to have a problem with it, and I'm very happy with that.
Yeah. I miss it sometimes, so.
Well, I can't do coffee either, but it's mostly because it's hard on my taste buds.
It's not that bad. I get what people say when they say it's an acquired taste, which is something that sounds insane if you don't like anything that is an acquired taste, but like no, I get it.
I don't like, but why would I bother to acquire this taste? It tastes bad. Why would I put myself through it just to like drink a socially accepted drink?
To gain a greater understanding of a flavor palette that you maybe have not opened your heart to.
That's reaching. But yeah, no, I find it in general with you that like you don't like bitter flavors. So I think that coffee, is just, it's not for you.
Coffee, tea, beer, yeah, they all suck.
Yeah, and all of
kind of
those
bitter
things
flavors.
are bitter. So you don't like dark chocolate either. You tolerate it because of the chocolate flavor.
Do you like the insane, like sugary Starbucks style coffee drinks?
No, the aftertaste.
Yeah, I don't like the aftertaste of coffee. Like
Which
I've
is
had
bitter, see?
I've had drinks. I have had coffee-based drinks where you drink it and it's like, oh, actually, there is no coffee. Like it doesn't taste like there's coffee in here. And then you keep drinking, and then you're like, wait, no, there's the coffee. But yeah, no. But there's other things. Like to me, onions were an acquired taste. Like, I had to eat a particular dish that my mom really liked at a restaurant. That was onions, but like it looked good, it looked good. I didn't like onions as a kid, but my mom really liked it, so I decided to try it. And then I was like, oh, actually, yeah, this is really good. And then from then on, I just started putting onions in more things and being like, oh, actually.
And now onions are in everything that I make.
I think
I
the
love
Cloyster.
trying new foods.
Sorry, I missed that, but I just wanted to say I think the Cloyster head needs to be black like the Shellder head and not like the purple Cloyster head from
I agree.
the modern art.
I agree.
Yeah. So sorry, what did you say?
I said I love trying new foods. I want to know all the flavors so I can make the best informed decision when I'm presented with different options.
Oh no, I agree. I like trying new foods as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm down to try new foods, but I have tried coffee and I didn't like it.
You have to respect your opinion. I'm not drinking it either, just for different reasons, so I really can't rag on you.
How's the chat doing?
They're talking about how Shed hates everything, which is factual.
Yes. He likes me though, right?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that is a rough part about being vegetarian, April. The worst part is I love the taste of meat. It's just like a moral thing. No shame to anyone who eats meat because like it's delicious. I understand you.
Yes, we eat meat.
Yeah.
But like not on a super regular basis. Like all of our meals have some kind of meat in it, but it's usually chicken.
Yes.
And
Or
not
turkey.
and not usually beef.
Yeah.
But beef is delicious. So
I know. Cows are so cute, though. I can't do it. I just want to pet 'em.
Yes, but yeah, no, I guess we don't eat beef very often. We usually do
Yeah.
the other proteins.
Yeah.
Yes, even like our meals this past week, they were all like alternatives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have turkey burgers, and then we had tofu, and then chicken in like our rice bowl thing.
I don't know if you guys have this in Canada, but there's a meat substitute called the Impossible Burger, which tastes very similar to real meat.
Yeah, I don't know which place serves the Impossible Burger, but they do have it. The one that we also have here that is served at A&W is Beyond Meat, which is a competitor. But
Yep, they're good too.
Yeah. I don't really want to eat that. I just like, if I want to eat meat, I'm gonna eat meat. And like, if my vegetable should taste like a vegetable.
I mean, it does taste like meat.
Yeah.
I think it's a little funny how people are like, man, I don't want to put this man-made thing in my mouth, but like flesh, give it to me.
Like, I don't care about it being man-made. Like, that's fine. There's so many things that are like genetically modified, blah blah blah. Like, I know that part, but just like I want my vegetable to just taste like a vegetable. Like, I don't need this imposter kind of thing.
the main reason I haven't tried the Beyond Meat burger at A&W is because they only have one burger with it. And so like I can't get my normal burger with the Beyond Meat patty. I mean, maybe I could if I asked for it, but yeah, like on the menu it's not one of the options. It's like, oh, the Beyond Meat burger is the one that has, pickles and tomatoes and like all this crappy stuff that should stay away from my burger.
See, you hate everything.
And
there are most places will let you swap it out. They'll like let you substitute the meat patty on anything. If you just ask about it. But one of the big reasons that I think is preventing people from trying it is right now it's still an upcharge. Like all these
that too, yeah.
These like funky new options, like it's just not as easy to manufacture them over just real meat right now. And I think within the next decade we will see it get cheaper than real meat.
Yeah.
Right. And we might even see like actual lab grown meat, which I would be down for.
Yeah, I'd be super down for that too. No problems.
Yeah, that would be good. Yes. Oh yeah, the other thing I thought of as well was just like, because I love a good like veggie burger every once in a while, but like I'm okay with the patty like tasting of chickpeas, like, or whatever, portobello mushroom. Like, I'm fine with that because it tastes the way of like what it's made of.
See, I'm not really cool with it. I don't crave that one so much. I'm glad it's there, but like when I want to eat a burger, I want to eat something that tastes like a burger. So we just have very different food tastes in that regard.
Well, we just can't be friends now.
No, it's fine. I respect all diets. It's just one of the best parts about being human, how you can just really pick all these different flavors to ingest, and
Food
it's
is
wonderful.
Love food.
Okay. Anything in particular here besides obviously the inside would be pearlescent, and of course the teeth need to be white.
Shading.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about the color of the spikes.
The ones
Could
on
we
the
get
outside?
Could we get a fade on the cilia? Could we have those go purple to white?
Sure. I guess the way that Infinipede drew it, it doesn't actually have like a base. It just.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could like hide
I feel
that
like I would
base.
like that more.
Yeah.
People
Yeah, I
complain
already
about
like that
pickles.
better.
I'll defend pickles, but I also like salt and vinegar chips, so my opinion might not be valid.
It isn't. Not because of the salt and vinegar chips. I mean, those aren't great, but they're tolerable. But pickles aren't.
Do you also not like anchovies?
On pizza or just in general?
Just in general.
I think anchovies. I haven't eaten them very much, but I think they're just exceptionally salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything really against like their flavor.
Yeah, same. Like, I think I would like anchovies more if they weren't so salty.
Yeah. Both those are just very intense flavors.
Mm-hmm.
I think a pickle can be good on a burger, used very sparingly, but sometimes if you get a bite that's just all pickle, you're like,
Yeah,
no.
it's too much.
Right. I think something like a Big Mac or something might have pickles like in the sauce, and that's generally okay because I can't taste it.
Yeah.
Individually, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's that?
I like that. I like that better.
Me too.
I do too. I think I might need to make the fade happen closer to the base.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, but besides that,
Conceptually. it's
Yeah.
there, yeah. Yeah, pickles are for me. Like, I will eat. If I'm like really hungry, then I will just eat it like together. But yeah, it does kind of. If I get like all pickle, then it's like. Ugh. But
I will
usually it's
straight eat a
faster.
pickle. I am that crazy.
you are crazy.
Wild. Living on the edge.
Yeah. Open up the fridge at 2 a.m., grab a pickle, living.
And I guess the spikes on the outside, because they're supposed to be ice, right? So I will shade them to be shiny and icy and maybe semi-transparent even.
Yeah, I do get a bigger ice feel from this too. OG Cloyster almost looks like it should be water rock because it's just not icy.
It could definitely pull off being water rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just kind of fake the color, the transparency just a little bit.
Just getting some hand cream.
Ooh.
My hands have had it.
We're gonna see those stripes underneath that too.
Yeah, I think so.
It's gonna be cool. Why is it ice? Because it's an ice Pokemon.
It's supposed to be an ice type.
I don't feel like the ice type really comes through the original design much at all.
No, it really doesn't.
Why didn't you try fixing the types of the Pokemon? I think the vision for the project really wanted to be to go with what we were given and
Yeah.
kind of work off of that and make them just fit what they were originally while kind of tweaking them to be more modern designs in the Pokemon world.
Yeah, that's mostly it. Like we wanted to it was basically the same concept but redone. So like we're just changing the visual aspect. Like we try to keep the inspirations. In some cases the inspirations are very vague and or even just kind of uninteresting and don't work for us. And so in those cases we might pull in something else as an inspiration, but yeah, the idea is just it's the same Pokemon, it just looks different.
Yeah.
And ideally it looks better. If we've done our job properly. But I think that's it.
I don't know if you're intending this with shading at all, but just a comment about the icicle spikes. Because shells, as they develop and harden, like they start off like softer, and then like they take on the sort of shape of their environment. So I'm just wondering if like the icicles need to actually be like encased in anything, because right now it just looks like it's just sticking out of the shell.
That's why I almost kind of liked it when I thought that they were coming out of the shell, but I don't know if we want to stick with that.
I think I'd have to get Infinity's opinion on that.
Yeah, certainly.
Because it's their concept, but
Yeah.
I think that it works just fine having the ice just be kind of stuck on there.
Okay.
Yeah. The
I
one
don't
thing that
dislike
did
it.
occur to me about that, though, is that it being kind of icicles is a lot like the dugong with an icicle on its head.
That's true. I did do that.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's anything better because it needs to be an ice type.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the problem. How do you represent ice without using ice?
Well, what if if its head was encased in an ice cube?
Are you shitting on one of my favorite boys from Gen 8?
Yeah, I guess I am.
We have very different tastes in Pokemon.
Yeah. But you like Politoed?
I
Politoed
do.
is good.
Politoed is very good.
Is that all you have to
That might be it.
Yeah. I don't terribly mind the concept of ice cube. I think it could have been done better. I don't like that it's an ice cube. Is mostly what it is.
I love
but,
it. Put it in Minecraft.
I assume you guys are saying bye to people now because I see both of them on stream.
Well, we were discussing whether we need to do something a little bit different with the icicles on Cloyster.
Yeah?
For one, because they are just kind of like stuck on there, and that may or may not be okay. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
But also,
I actually had them sort of coming through the shell, though I guess it probably wasn't that obvious.
but you did actually intend it to be coming through the shell.
Yeah, you can see there's like a thicker outline on the bottom of the ones that you can see. So they're coming through like holes in the shell because Cloyster fires its spikes out. It's uses spike cannon.
I see. Yeah, I did not pick up on that, but I can see it now.
It's a good thing I came back.
Yeah. Well, we
It
were.
turns out the pharmacy closes at 3 on Sundays. So
Oh.
yeah, it just means that instead of medication tonight, I'll just be used. Because without these meds, I have trouble sleeping. So melatonin and alcohol, baby.
So Common Pikachu said Politoed is not good.
What?
Let me say that I like Politoed so much that I commissioned a 4-foot-tall Politoed wood sculpture for my wedding.
Well,
We're gonna
and
have
your
to-
husband likes politics.
Yeah,
we're gonna
showed
have to agree to disagree on this one.
I showed you a picture of that one.
That was really cool.
Okay, so we can make it so that it's actually coming through. And the other thing that we were kind of talking about is that the icicles end up being a lot like what we did for Dugong with an icicle on its forehead. But then again, like, what else would it be? And so I think it's okay for them to be icicles, but
interpreted them more as being like the mother of pearl material, believe it or not.
Okay.
Rather than icicles, though.
Okay.
I imagine that they would look like icicles, because there's a Pokedex entry for Cloyster that references that like ancient peoples made tools out of Cloyster's like weapons out of Cloyster's spikes. So I'm like, well, then it has to be either magic ice that doesn't melt, or some sort of thing that can actually be made into a weapon.
I think the pearl material, will still kind of get the ice type across. Since
Exactly.
it's that white color. So maybe that helps differentiate it from Dugong as well.
okay. So if not semi-transparent at all, just solid, but with the pearlescent thing, like
with the
I
pearlescent.
mimicked on Shellder.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
And that kind of has
Beta
a little bit
Politoed
of that
is very
like
good.
Aurora Borealis kind of thing. That you did on Dugong as well, but differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I guess I just need to
Redo the whole thing? No.
almost. No, just find a way to make it look more like it's actually coming out of the shell. I don't want to hide that. And I guess I'll hide those for now as well. I think from this angle, were you envisioning like actual holes in the shell, or just like that you can get, that you'd be able to like see inside if its spikes get shot off? But
I maybe like just depressions and like holes that it just descends into black, you know, for not like all the way through the shell, you know.
right. Okay.
But like they're holes holding the spikes.
Something like that
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
That looks better.
works for you. Since you were the one that pointed it out in the first place.
Yeah, no, that
It
looks
addresses
good.
what was kind of like, this doesn't seem totally right there.
Yeah.
Just icicles.
Yeah.
They just exist.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm
it's an
sorry
ice
that wasn't,
Pokemon,
like, super
so
obvious on my art. But you know, normally I would have been here to correct you, but
yeah.
and now I am.
Well, look at that.
Maybe it's a blessing in disguise that the pharmacy was closed, because I might have had to wait.
No, I think it would have been better for you to get your medication.
Yeah.
But
Well, yes.
I actually like that Politoed is so different from the rest of the Poly line, because I think that Poliwhirl and Poliwrath are too similar.
I think it makes sense.
they are
because-
they are definitely too similar to each other.
Yeah.
And also like
Yeah.
the idea of a tadpole that doesn't
Yeah. Mature.
metamorphose, yeah, is weird.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
good that they address that with Politoed. It's just like, here it is. Sorry, guys. This is our bad. I love
like
Poliwrath, though.
Poliwrath just because I like that it's just like an angry tadpole that was so pissed it grew arms.
It's grown on me, but it really just is angry Poliwhirl.
It is angry Poliwrath. Like, sorry, Poliwhirl. I wish like Poliwhirl, like
Yeah. Wish someone
it
else
was just
had
from
a cat.
Poliwag into Poliwrath or Politoed.
You're correct, Golden Pelt.
How's that?
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
Bigger
personally,
holes,
the way I
littler
see
holes?
Politoed, it's fine for it to look so much different because, like, have you seen real life tadpoles and frogs? Oh, sorry, that's my
Yeah.
alarm.
They did change the color completely, and like maybe it would have been better to have a color that, you know, that fits a little better. But
Like a shared color.
Yeah, but I think it
I
looks
feel
fine
like
as it
since
is,
the
so.
species is shared and the swirls are shared, it
Yeah.
feels very connected still.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the beta design, so I feel you on that. It's very plump and regal.
I felt the hole needed to be a tiny bit bigger. There.
It matches the other one better.
And those. Okay, and
It's because he's mad, Javier.
who is mad?
It's like Poliwrath is mad. He's so mad because he's still a tadpole.
You know, when in the Gen 2 games, there's a NPC in Celadon, I think, that has a Poliwrath and is like, I wonder when my tadpole Pokemon will evolve into a frog.
That's so sad.
But it's a callback to an NPC that was also there in the Gen 1 games that I think says, I evolved my Pokemon with a Water Stone. or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, well, now it's not. Now it's definitely not going to turn into a frog.
Aw.
Sorry to
That
break
reminds
it
me
to
of
you.
my incredibly like sad thing as a kid, where I had this like beloved level 100 Chansey in red and blue, and then I got to gold and silver, and I couldn't evolve it because it needed friendship and level up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nowadays
Thankfully,
you can.
they fixed that.
Yeah,
with,
they fixed that.
Finally.
So
After
if you know,
8
if you could
generations.
transfer from old games, you know.
All right.
Should
Well,
we-
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Should I not say a thing?
Oh, sorry. Dick, go ahead. Say
Say
your
a
thing.
thing.
Should we recess the head of Cloyster a little more? Because I don't think it could close its shell where the head currently is.
Fine.
Maybe it's a turtle.
I always imagine the head is like floating anyway.
I'd still like it to be floating, but I don't know if it should be a little more in there.
I think I have the head still on its own layer. Oh, this one. So we can definitely. I'm not going to bother redoing the color, but we can.
Yeah, sorry.
No, there's definitely some things that you only see like once the color's there. So. That better?
That is better.
Yeah.
That is 100% better.
100% better. Wow.
100%.
Quite the
If
improvement.
there's a state that is not better and there's a state that's better, you have reached the better state.
All right, whatever that means. Okay.
Nice.
And that's how it looks with the color in the right place.
Perfect.
Well, I might actually be able to,
Shimmy it.
yeah, but not sample all
Perfect.
layers. But also make sure I'm on the right layer. There you go. Yeah, so it's not perfect, but close enough. So yeah, I guess I'll finish these throughout the week sometime. And yeah, next time we're gonna do the Ghastly family, and that's actually one of my designs, and I have a pretty good idea for Gengar itself. I just have to figure out what the rest of the line is gonna, like how it's gonna work leading up to that kind of thing, so we'll see.
Well,
That's such a tough one.
I
love
mean,
that
holler
one.
at us if you need like inspiration or anything, I guess.
Yeah. I will. So, assuming we don't forget again, the next stream should be on June 13th.
Nice.
Just remind me the day before, because
Yeah, same.
I'm dumb.
I'm gonna keep,
But yes, I'll be there.
thinking it's Sunday.
Yeah, okay, let me...
Oh, that's my phone. Hello?
Signing off with a bang.
Yep.
Everyone's scoping Finipede's phone call.
There we go. Okay, I set a notification for the event, like a reminder. So hopefully this time I won't forget until 3 minutes before we're supposed to start.
No, it's fine. We worked it out.
Yeah. Yeah, so next time will be Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. And I'm looking forward to that one, because I think the Gengar idea is really good. So,
Should be fun.
yeah. I guess we should wait for Infinipede to come back, hopefully.
It's the pharmacy being like, "Where were you? We waited."
Yeah.
Jeez.
We've been open this whole time just waiting for you.
This is not a very nice pharmacy.
I just saw that Mark, the Ruin Maniac file, said I have a weird love for Polyrath for some reason, and you know
I'm back, and I
that's
figure we're
that's
saying
exactly
goodbye anyway.
Mark's entire
So,
aesthetic.
Yes.
Yes, glad I got back. My food just arrived, so it was good timing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night, and we'll see you next month.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.